Australians, oh let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth of toil, our home is girt by sea. Our land abounding nature's gifts, our beauty rich and rare, in history's page let every state advance Australia bear. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
The 10 tenors. Congratulations to Jason Ackermanis. What a roller coaster career this boy has had, but he's a great talent, and he joins the 100 club tonight. All-Australian last year, and there was talk during the week, I believe, that he was going to do something special with his hair, and there was a bit of a whisper that was going to be plaited. Matty Campbell, welcome to you. Is that true?
Yeah, nice to be back, Sandy. It was true. It actually was plotted on Wednesday, and it seems to have been taken out. So maybe a little word in the ear from Coach Lee Matthews to say, look, this is not what it's all about. We need to win, and we need you to be playing your best footy. And he wasn't certainly playing his best footy last week at Football Park.
He's a short back and sides man, Lee, anyway, but a magnificent night, Matty, for football here at the Gabba. No real breeze to speak of, and a big night for Ricky O'Loughlin, the brother of Michael, playing his first game. And I'll be interested too to see a young man in the Brisbane lineup by the name of Jonathan Brown. Comes from South Warrnambool in the Western District, son of Brian Brown, who played for Fitzroy as it was, and he also coached a couple of sides in the Western District like Koroit, but that's all history now.
Very big reps on him here in Brisbane, Sandy. They've been keen to get him into the side. He's a big fella for his age, and he is very mobile, so 6'4", 6'5", he can cover some ground.
Just a very, very important game for both sides. If you're staring at Norton 5 at this time of the year, it's going to be a long season. So let's see what's going to happen. A mighty thump by Clark up against his old side. Scott gets the hand pass down towards Michael Voss. He looks to be okay, and that's good news. Sweeps it wide to Ashcroft on the outer side. Marcus is clear. Wobbles a little one just further into attack before it ricochets away out of bounds, and we've got a throw in.
One of my favourite players, Sandy. Michael Foster started half back on Peter Vardy with that first touch, so I thought he would have played on ball, so that's an interesting move.
The key to the home side, Matthew, a fast start.
Well, I think there'll be a fair bit of emotion about being back at the Gabba, so they need to start well, but it'll be whether they can be consistent, Sandy, and play 4 quarters.
Rashudo getting a couple of early touches. Lappin applies the tackle, a chance for Costa. Kim Costa up towards half forward. Big pack of players. Leppich came out, unable to take the mark, but he backs into it, and he does well. Justin Leppich is clear. A confident boosting run by Leppich back towards the centre. Again, Rashudo in the thick of things. Held it for a long time. Edwards towards the line. McRae is there as well, and he's quite happy to give it a little subtle tap over the line because he was outnumbered 2-1.
Sandy, just looking at the Crows forward line, they've got Wren, Welsh, Binky, Robran, and Jarman. Only Peter Vardy's a real known crummer, so it's quite a tall forward line they're going with.
Well, they do have a height advantage over the lines at the moment as the tap comes down. Here's Ackermanis in his 100th game. Smart in there for the Crows. Applies the tackle. Comes out the back to Bickley. He's wrapped up beautifully by Chris Scott, but he had no prior opportunity. Umpire Hayden Kennedy comes in for the bounce. Been in reasonable form, Mark Bickley. Plenty of the ball last week. There's the tap again, this time from Clark. It spills to Goodwin. Goodwin. Tackled by Black. He in turn tackled. Lappin trying to get through towards Chris Scott. again wrapped up, and that's Tyson Stengline in the tackle.
That's fantastic, isn't it? It's a kid playing very well at Port Adelaide in the local league in the SANFL. And played a few games last year, but that was 2 efforts then. I mean, that's terrific. That's exactly what the Crows are looking for.
Well, a lot of talk last week, Malcolm, with the fact they only laid 4 tackles in the second half. So they're in at the contest at the moment as Rashudo breaks clear inside the 50. Long ball in the back was Eustace. Jarman over the back. Here's a chance for Jarman. If he can get it, he can't, but he's ridden into the ground by Stephen Lyons. It'll be a free kick to Darren Jarman, just 10 metres out.
As we look at that, Darren just not quite hanging on to it, and certainly in the back. I mean, his momentum was going forward, but you've really got to drop to your knees, throw the weight around, and then just drop to your knees, and he couldn't quite do that. And a free kick obviously paid to Jarman. So
he celebrated his 200th game last week, and he celebrates his 197th goal.
Yes, well.
This is Dharma, and this is her dad.
You got a copying machine? Right over there. What are you doing? Get off of there! I just need a couple of pictures to paste on my neighbor's window. Take a picture, it'll last longer.
Dharma and Greg, Sunday.
Then at 8 o'clock...
When are you going to teach us how to unhook a bra?
In an hour-long Third Rock.
We're not learning that.
Okay, well, all this stuff is very interesting, but I'm not going to get to any of it if I can't unhook a bra.
Sally has problems in the bedroom.
She snores like a pig.
Third Rock, Sunday.
Good start by Adelaide. Jarman taking advantage of the free kick. Clark again wins it against his old side. Bickley a short little chip. Ricochets away to McLeod. On the left foot. High ball over the head of Robrin up towards half forward. Voss now leads in the race. Robrin gives chase. He overruns it. White body over the ball. That was clever. Worked hard. Huskus almost threw it out the back door. Leppich sweeps the hand pass wide. Jarman has taken over the line.
Amazingly, Andrew McLeod also starting at half-back, which I think is terrific. You know, if you're just down a bit, put your, pretty good player back to his favourite spot, and he'll give him plenty of drive, I think, just like Voss will at the other end.
No wind to speak of here at the Gabba. Clark again picking up early touches. Rashudo has been busy. Black over the ball, and he locks it up there with Kim Costa.
Interesting on ball. Adelaide have got Costa, Bickley and Rashudo. Probably they're real hard at the ball type players, so they're playing for keeps tonight.
Just early on in this game, Malcolm, a lot of people have thrown up theories as to why the Crows haven't been winning. You've been there and done that. Is it a lack of passion? What is it?
I think players do. Perhaps they get satisfied with what they've done in their footy career, and look, it just might take their loss they had last week, you know, nearly 20 goal shellacking by the Eagles in Perth. It just might be the one that they needed to bottom out, as I call it in footy. Prior to that, their form wasn't too bad, so a couple of 11-point losses mean you're not too far away.
Mind you, when you announced your resignation in July of last year, you said there was nothing left inside you. So could that apply to the players?
Well, I mean, that was the case for me. That was about coaching for year 2000, Sandy. It wasn't that particular year.
Okay. Still at half forward for the Adelaide Crows. They've done the bulk of the attacking. The wide hand pass is okay to Voss. Now we might see something. Michael Voss. Groin looks to be and appears to be quite okay, but he centres it in towards half forward. The number of players there. Malloy, here comes the D9, shoots towards goal and misses to the left. Big build-up, but Malloy unable to finish it off.
Well, it's their first real attack forward in the 15, and it just got through there too easy, I'd suggest, from the Crows' point of view. But I mean, once again, it was Michael Voss setting it up in that run off half back.
One thing they did do there, Malcolm, is they were able to get it to the fat side, as we call it, which is something they haven't been able to do in the first 4 weeks. And Malloy should have finished it off as Rashudo marks the kick in.
Gee, started well.
He's having a good season, Mark Rashudo, averaging the most possessions out of any player out on the ground tonight. Smart. Appeared to be held by Scott. This time he certainly is. And dragged to the ground. It'll be a ball up. So a good crowd in attendance, although perhaps the Lions, Sandy, they thought they might get a few more here. But there is a couple of other major sporting events over the weekend here in Brisbane. Fantastic new stadium. The ball spills towards Michael Martin. Has he got the pace to outrun Smart? Soccer's off the ground. Coming through again, Malloy decides to go by himself. Gives it up to Lappin. Lapping. He kicks it up towards Lynch. Lynch, strong body. Doesn't need the mark because he's going to kick the drop kick goal.
The drop is back.
Heading
Here's a couple who are preparing for a family
Baby
extension.
into this mess.
Mum, it'll be lovely. We've got a beautiful little freeze to go around.
Here's our Easter projects catalogue, full of great paint ideas. And here's the Mitre 10 specialist,
I'd recommend Accent Kitchen.
with all the advice you
Own
need.
brand, stain resistant. Would cut in around the corners, then fill in the main area with the roller.
From a store that understands it's not just the low price,
I told you it would be perfect.
it's getting the right advice that really saves you money.
Alistair Lynch gets Brisbane's first. They lead by one behind. Important out of the centre, it's Chris Scott. Ripped to the ground as he gets a high ball towards right half forward. McRae was his target. Edwards is his equal. This time it's going the way of Craig McRae. Chance to go down towards Lynch and Malloy territory once again. And he doesn't waste any time. Lynch with the body. They all come over the top of him. There's been a whistle and it's going to go. It's going to go the way of Alistair Lynch, and for the second time in 30 seconds, he's got a shot at goal.
Matty, what do you think about that drop kick, that last goal he did? I mean, do you think that's right?
I don't agree with it.
Hang on. Before you answer that, it was Bassett a little bit stiff. He was furious about that.
You're not going to change it, though.
No, I know. Merely a question, Malcolm. You're very pumped up tonight. Lynch. Directly in front. Oh, gee. Alistair Lynch. That is a nightmare.
Well, I've always been on about a footy guide. Anyone that knows me talks about the footy guide. And I reckon sometimes he squares up with you. And I reckon a drop kick goal at this level now is really showing off your pants a bit.
I'd agree with you there, Malcolm, but Alistair Lynch does have a problem kicking goals from just 20 metres out. If he's 50 out, he'll kick through it and he'll kick it. From 20 metres out, he'll steer it left.
Bassett chips back towards centre wing, and there's a good one-hander taken by Stengline. Interesting to see this gentleman in action. He's on the outer wing, comes in towards half forward. Vardy waits down. Robrin came over the top. Prosciutto was in front, bends it over the back. No one at home except Adam Huskus. The interesting Adam Huskus to Michael Voss, and he's got support from Lepich. Justin's away, a couple of ounces. He loves this situation. He looks towards right half forward. The kickers perhaps let him down a little. Pushed deep into the pocket. A test for Lynch. He needs support. He's beautifully tackled. Spills free towards McLeod. Goes back inboard with a hand pass that in the end will be okay. Hart tidies up. Goes to the outer side, and they're out of trouble. Stevens taking the mark.
Stevens has got Prosciutto clear. The kick just a little bit too strong for him. Now it puts him under pressure. Gives it to Bickley. Ashcroft the tackle. Smart. Wheels round onto the right foot. Gets it long and gets it out into the open space. First to be there is Stephen Lawrence. Handball. High, but it finds Ackermanis. Turns onto his left. Can kick both sides just as evenly. That's a good mark taken in defence by Tyson Edwards. Such a wonderful mark for his size. Edwards back towards the centre wing. Lawrence with the punch. Falls to ground. Ashcroft in the right spot. Off the lap, and he's involved heavily early. Going low was McRae, and he's away.
Tackle.
Great tackle. Forced the error. Not rewarded. Goes to ground. Is it Edwards underneath all that? It certainly is. And he's been pinged for holding the ball.
Well, at least they've been consistent with it.
They have all year, but I just wonder something.
Yeah,
he hasn't been rewarded for doing everything right.
No, that's quite right, but they have been on that all year.
McRae to Lynch on the burst. Got him. Now he's a bit further out.
Well, will he kick a drop kick this time?
He won't kick a drop kick.
He won't. No.
You're being silly. He's not going to kick a drop kick.
I didn't kick the drop kick.
I agree with what you're saying. From 45 metres, Lynch. It looks good. It is. It's a goal.
So Alistair Lynch gets...
The Mitsubishi Triton has a larger payload than Hilux.
Bigger.
Plus, it has more legroom and headroom than Hilux.
Bigger.
And Triton's 3-litre V6 four-wheel drive engine has an extra 25 kilowatts more power.
Ooh. Bigger.
The Mitsubishi Triton four-wheel drive ute. Bigger than the other bugger. It is Mitsubishi.
2-2 plays 1 goal. Alistair Lynch certainly getting his fair share of the footy. As we go back in the middle once again, it's not a kind bounce for anyone. Thrown out towards Hart. It came from Black. Hart sends the Crows forward, down towards Robram. White defends with a punch that lands down in the middle. Brian Beakey claimed. The Lions are quick to ask the question. It's just inside Adelaide's 50, and we've got a ball up. Crows making a number of changes this week with Bassett, Byrne, Stingline, Binky, Ricky O'Loughlin, Rhett Biglands, all getting an opportunity. Brisbane too, making a number of changes after their disappointing performance at Football Park against Port Power last week. Wren doing some ruck work. Jarman's just outside 50, but always dangerous. Nigel Smart gets underneath the punt, and it's high. Difficult to mark. Lepich flies. He got a hand to it. Trying to crunch his way through the pack was Stingline. He's claimed. Lappin tries to get a hand pass out. White locks it up, and that is exactly where it will stay. We've got a ball up 25 metres out from Adelaide's scoring zone. Just the 1 goal for Adelaide at the moment, coming from Darren Jarman. Lachlan awaiting his chance. Hand pass comes out towards Martin. He's under the pump. So too was Hart. May get another chance. He's tumbled to the ground and loses the footy. And it just stays in. Back towards centre wing. Courage shown by Rashudo. Backing into the pack. Hart is there to give him assistance. Black tries to get it out for the Lions. They pounce on it. Skill by Jarman. Clever little toe poke to release the ball. And now he's away. Inside 50. White is one of the flyers. So too Robran. Lawrence goes across the ground. He's going to get them out of trouble. Lepich and Lappin are both there. Lepich can go over the top to Ackermanis. He spies him now. And away goes the 100 gamer. Cruising clear, goes short to Hart. Hart from 60 metres. A drop punt towards Lynch and Co at full forward. Quick transformation sees it down into the forward line. Could anyone pick it up? Jonathan Brown is there. He's wearing 16 for the Brisbane Lions. He's the new kid from South Warrnambool we're talking about. Took his time coming into this lineup. I think Matty had a broken jaw?
Yeah, that's right.
And has given away the free kick. It's going to go the way of Hart. He looks towards Nigel Smart. Ashcroft is at the back. Had a little bit of Nigel's jumper, but only for a moment. And now Martin gets a chance for the Lions once again. Clever kick. McRae. Now he's a left footer, but he's 65 out. He wants to go. He swings around and he heads towards goal. Lynch is again his target. Bassett is there with him and forces a throw in the right forward pocket.
Alistair Lynch, who didn't train on Wednesday, didn't recover very well from the game in Adelaide last week. Was some doubt about him actually playing tonight. But he has started well. He has the only 2 goals that the Lions have. Boundary throw in from up above. It comes to Bickley. Good smother there on Stingline's kick by Lappin. Falls to Hart. Hart gets it back over to Chris Scott around the corner. Needs a good bounce. Gets one. But unfortunately for him, to the right-hand side of the goalpost, just the behind. So Brisbane doing most of the attacking here. Long kick straight down the middle, looking for Matty Clark. Back on the Gabba and taking a good mark.
Started off pretty well too. He's got his hands on a lot of ball and some opportunities. Rashudo's got his footy at the moment, hasn't he?
He is, certainly has. He's away now. He's got plenty of space. A couple of bounces, then short to the lead of Benke. Brian Benke. Perhaps a bit too far out for him.
Can hoof it.
He can hoof it. He's going to have to kick from 55. It's going to be close. Going to fall to the goal square. Lepich goes for the swinging arm and it heads over for a rush behind.
Interesting just watching the defence of Brisbane. As someone gets the ball, they tend to peel off. Adelaide have been kicking long a lot of times. That's the first entry they had in their forward line. They've actually started to chip the ball. Lepich and those blokes just drop off and have got some easy ball at the back. So they really need to mix up their game a bit when they do that.
I wonder about that short kick there. It's virtually in the same spot now and he's reduced his angle. But Juskas has it for the Lions. Ashcroft somehow finds himself 10 metres free and Brisbane will clear. From the defensive 50, spots up McDonald beautifully. He wants a runner. He has one in Martin. Through the centre wing, Martin takes a bounce. It's a poor kick. McRae in front, goes to ground. Not cleared by Edwards. Gets it back. Martin just got to handle it to spoil it. Perhaps Edwards was tackled by Hart, but he spills it now. Kicks around on the left foot, inside the 50. Malloy there. Ackermanis the crumbs. Crew tackle by Ackermanis. Good decision. They must protect the head. And Nathan Bassett will take the free kick.
I mean, one of the reasons why they get it away so easily, if they kick's good, as you see that high tackle there, I mean, accidents count. We've got to protect them.
Well, there's an accident here, because they mucked it up, and there'll be a boundary throw, and Mark Bickley, he won't be happy with that.
Don't forget, when you zone from a kick out, there's always going to be players clear. If you drag an extra couple over one side, you've got extras. You've got to outnumber them. So, I mean, that short kick sometimes can work, providing the skill's good.
8 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Big Bo McDonald in front. Comes down to Goodwin. Did well last week. Goes up towards half forward. White tries to use the body on Robin. It's not successful. Here he is in cruise control, and he should kick a goal. That's D. Jarman, ladies and gentlemen.
Enjoy the feeling that sparkles inside. Live every minute, enjoy the ride. Taste all the excitement that life has to give. The more you enjoy, the more you live. This is the real.
Should have bought a bigger Esky.
The world is yours, Coca-Cola, enjoy.
Trivia night for Malcolm Blight. The two oldest players on the ground have kicked the goals, Alistair Lynch and Darren Jarman. Jarman just cruising for that one. Costa out of the middle. Down towards half forward. Smart was the flyer. He went alone. Away comes Martin for the Brisbane Lions. Down towards right half forward. Out comes Malloy. He's beaten one. Now he's got to beat Tyson Edwards. He presses him to the line and he forces a throw in.
Pretty good matchup, that Mark Stevens and Jared Malloy. Stevens has obviously missed a lot of footy, and first game last week wasn't great. And I guess Malloy's missed his share too over the years, Matty, hasn't he? He's had a lot of injuries.
It's taken him a long time to get to his 100th game, and I have to be honest, I think he's very lucky to be out there after his performance the last couple of weeks tonight.
Clark won it, but it's taken by Martin. He can have a shot at goal here. He runs inside 50. He shoots across goal, and not a good attempt. It's taken over the line from behind. So an even first quarter here at the Gabba. 2-3 plays 2-4 plays 2-1.
Great kick.
Yeah, Rashudo pinpointed by Edwards, and off he goes to Bickley, who's caught behind by Hart, and he's pinged. Now the door opens for Hart and Brisbane. Malloy calling for it long. Lynch is calling for it long. Here goes the kick of Hart, and here comes Lynch. High, and he takes a beauty. Boy, if Mark Rashudo's getting plenty of this footy in the first quarter for Adelaide, Alistair Lynch certainly is for the Lions.
Well, I take my hat off him. That is a sensational mark. What he's done is gone that fraction early and jumped into the side of Bassett. I mean, that takes a lot of skill.
That's the sort of mark we saw him taking in '93 when he was at Fitzroy, when he was All-Australian.
He's kicked 324 goals in his career, and he's added another one. Another behind, that is. Well, it hasn't got the old kicking boot on tonight, but he can't believe that. He thought it was a goal, like a number of us.
There's the kick in once again. He's got to be more than 40 metres out. Simon Goodwin. Long, beautiful, raking left footer. Clark looking to knock it on towards Hart. Brown, was he held? Play on. Here's Nigel Smart. Jarman there again.
That's bad footy from Jarman. Put in the way of Smart there. Did that last week too. Same thing.
Lappin, caught by Jarman. He doesn't have it. It'll be a free kick. So in his efforts to perhaps get involved and make up for an error.
Well, isn't it? I mean, the player coming at you always gets right of way. I mean, you can look after him. So
and now we've got a 50-metre penalty. So it's gone from bad to worse. Nigel Lappin, in a very poor performance last week, was one of the two best of the Lions, him and Simon Black.
Look out.
Bolton, one of the 4 teenagers out there for the Lions. He runs to 55. It's a poor kick. It drops short. It's going to spill, I thought, towards Ackermanis, but Edwards was there once again. Scott looked to centre it. Great work from McLeod. Put him under all sorts of pressure. And Rashudo happy to see it over for a boundary throw-in. So good defence there by the Crows will force the boundary throw-in. 4 points the Lions. Just the 2 goal kickers. Boundary throw-in. McDonald for the Lions with Matthew Clark. Once again down to Rashudo. Quick kick towards the boundary. Binky in front of Bolton. Keeps it in. No, he doesn't. So it'll be a boundary throw in front of the northern stand here at the Gabba.
Malcolm, when a side has a start like either of these two teams, and you might be 1-4 or 0-4, some people tend to panic. Is there cause for panic? Do you see it as a major drama at this stage of the season? Just think about it as Rashudo picks up yet another possession over the head of Bolton. He got a poor bounce. Nigel Smart trapped it well, but kicked it very quickly up towards Robran. White, an effective spoiler. And look at the recovery of Dashing Dazza. Does it beautifully. Off to Martin, a floating punt kick towards Scott. Chris Scott. Fine play, needs someone going through the middle, and he's got Boss, but Clark's got Boss at the same time. Flattens him as he gets his kick. A lot of holding on going on, and it's gone against Alistair Lynch this time. I mean, is there cause for panic?
Oh, look, I think there is. Norton 5, you're starting to get into serious trouble. Norton 4 has been done before, and there's only history, and there's no reason why it can't be broke. But I always thought that the Bears start would be a bit slow because they've played so many away. I thought Lions, I should say, 3 and 4 might be okay because they've got a lot of home games coming. So no side needs to panic tonight. Perhaps the result of tonight, someone might get a bit worried.
Stevens might tend to panic about that kick. It wasn't one of his better ones. Malloy picks it up, kicks towards right half forward. Hart is under a ton of pressure from McLeod. He sees it over the line, and we've got a throw in.
Good result there, actually, for Brisbane, considering Rashudo and McLeod up against Hart, 2 against 1. And the ball in the air, it's not where Sean Hart likes it. He likes it on the ground. Clark to do battle once again with McDonald. Clark lays it off towards Rashudo. Scott there, good hands to Malloy. He thought about Ashcroft. He gets it back somehow from 55 metres. He goes 2-on-1 contest again. Wren getting back. It falls down to the front. Bassett hard in there hard. Wren wants a free kick and gets it. Well, that's 1 each now. That's fair enough. You can't hug it into yourself.
It's a big play for Sean Wren here. I mean, he's got a kick on the back play, which is when he's playing really well, that's what he does.
He reads it?
Yep.
So Sean Wren wants to go to the outer side. There's a push, a free kick, play on.
Advantage, yep.
Lions looking to move it quickly through Lappin. Runs it, kicks it long. Huge kick from Lappin. 3-on-1 back there. 2 of the biggest players on the ground, and they've somehow kept it in. That's clever work. McLeod to the outer side. Ashcroft getting in there. Spills to Ackermanis. Can he keep it in? Just. Misses Ashcroft. Has to go again. Good pressure from Hart. Marcus kicks it around the corner. McDonald. Well, he's got the mark just 30 metres out. And I guess Malcolm, he was in a strange situation there because with Sean Wren back play all the way back to the goal square, Bo, he didn't know where to stand, whether he goes all the way back, and he found himself halfway.
Yeah, and halfway probably is not the best spot because you actually block it up for leads and everything. In general play, that is. When it's a set play, it's not too bad, but I guess he's going to learn, isn't he?
Well, we haven't seen him had a lot of set shots for goal. Bo McDonald from about 30 metres, almost directly in front. He makes no mistake, it's a goal.
Thursday at the new time of 8.
Now that's football news.
First with the real football issues.
Let's talk about this thing.
Now, 8 o'clock Thursday.
I'd not hate to be the materials at Christmas time. Phil's just take.
The Game on 7.
The Truscott's catalogue is out now. Hang on to it. Then watch Home and Away weeknights on 7. We'll be asking a question from the catalogue, and you can win $2,500 worth of hi-fi equipment every night. The Truscott's Home and Away giveaway starts Monday night.
A couple of minutes remaining in the first quarter. McDonald getting amongst the goal scorers for the Brisbane Lions, and they just eke ahead a little. The Huskis hand pass is all right to Darryl White. He goes to the outer side. Could have almost been some interference. Costa, the hand pass is off to Robran. Robran is 55 out. It's a centering ball, and it's a very, very good one. The mark is taken by Welsh. He's directly in front, 45 out, and a chance to answer the McDonald goal. Scott Welsh has kicked 10 goals, 9 so far this season. So his accuracy is also a little questionable. Kicks from 45, gets underneath a high drop punt, and it's good. He's answered.
Well, a lot of people would query Matthew Robin in this football team sometimes, but there's just his skills are just second to none. If he can get some galloping room, as I call it, he can really hurt opposition sides. And look at that kick. Welsh did not have to change stride. It was just a magnificent kick. And Lepage is no snowcloak that was chasing him.
Scotty Welsh, leading goal kicker for the Crows this year. 4 points. Just under 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter here at the Gabba. And Scott Welsh, if he's just how he likes it, with the ball out in front. Back in the centre, Black coming through hard. Ball gets socketed forward. Malloy's in front. He'll look for the runner, and it's Lappin. Has to hook it around the body from 50 metres. I tell you what, it's not a bad kick. It's an outstanding goal. Nigel Lappin, he's had plenty of it in his first quarter, and Malcolm, the ability for Lappin to be able to kick the ball long distances off balance.
Yes, he's a marvellous kick on the run, isn't he? It was good work in the centre again as we just watch this in replay.
Brown
the Lions closest to actually, and just in front there. It was a good dish, wasn't it? And read beautifully by Lappin. Look, some goals you can't stop, and I think that's nearly almost the perfect team goal, isn't it? It was good body stuff, good skill, and good finish.
Gee, experience shown by Jonathan Brown, who was the one who did the steamrolling work coming from half forward. But let's go back to the centre. McDonald in the thick of things, and he wins it, but who can take it out? Goes the way of the Crows. Rashudo, it's short to him. The Roo can reply as well. 55 metres in towards the pocket, and it's slammed into the behind post.
Yes, Rashudo then just tried to steer it a bit. He sometimes tend to overkick the ball, so that he's obviously fixed that problem. Now, I think it was a bit too soft on the kick. Really need to kick up. A lot of players want to kick it low, and I can never understand it. It eliminates someone touching it.
Rhett Bigland's waiting for his chance to come on. Robran out the back. Bigley in trouble, loses it to Black. Around the body, back towards Lappin. That's great recovery by Lappin. Slams it onto the boot, but hits Stevens in the stomach. Scott tries a steal. Just about works to Malloy. Tries to tunnel ball it. Only as far as Stevens. Good smother by Scott. Off to McRae. Pumps it along again. Smart could have given away a free kick. No, play on. Lynch wheels round like the Queen Mary. A high ball. In towards half-forward. Ackermanis flies, but he can't take the mark. Crows should clear with a soccer off the ground. Smart. Now a chance to pick it up. Tumbles a punt back towards the centre. Maybe they can set something up with Bickley. Long in towards Robran. They need a mark. White comes over the top. Robran recovers. Close to siren time. Around the body he goes. But only as far as Big Bo. He gives it to Lepage. And Lepage brings them out of trouble. Off towards Martin on half-back. Only seconds remaining. And that's a poor kick. It might just stay in play for the D9. Look at that. He cruises away. Stevens gives chase. Malloy says, you catch me if you can. I'm going to have a shot at goal. And he does. And he finishes it off.
Oh, wonderful play from Malloy, but I'd have to say Mark Stevens has been in 3 bits of play in the last 2 minutes of the game, and nothing's been clean, tidy, and he looks very, very tight, almost out on his legs. And then had to do this. So I suggest that Mark's probably looking for a bit of a rest at the moment, but what a sensational goal. I mean, he's gone from the wing. He's gone 90 metres. What a wonderful effort.
A fantastic effort. It's just what Jared needs. He's been down on form a bit. He spent a fair bit of time on the bench as Lee Matthews tries to get his forward structure right with the 3 tools inside 50 with Lynch and Bradshaw. And at the moment, it's working for them. They lead by 16 points, almost quarter time. McDonald down to Costa. His quick kick out of the middle. Voss leads Vardy in the race for the ball. All to no avail. But the Brisbane Lions have won a quarter of football. It's something they've struggled to do this year. And they've been very comfortable. Well, they've only won 4 quarters for the year, and 3 of them were against the Western Bulldogs. They lead 5-5-35, Adelaide 3-1-19. And they're happy to be home at the Gabba, Sandy.
Yes, main goal scorers in the game so far. Alistair Lynch, well, he's had the opportunity to probably have 4 by quarter time. He has 2. Jared Malloy, Bo McDonald and Nigel Lappin all have singles. whilst for Adelaide, Darren Jarman opened with their first 2, and Scott Welsh has 1. So at this stage of proceedings, the Brisbane Lions, on this rather warm night here in Brisbane, having their noses in front, 5-5 to Adelaide, 3-1.
This news update brought to you by Colonial. Your home, your loan, your way.
Hello again. A trainee pilot is recovering tonight after surviving an emergency landing at Tennyson Beach this afternoon. The single-engine plane was on a training flight from Parafield when the engine cut out. The pilot and the trainee managed to put the aircraft down on Tennyson Beach, just north of the Grange jetty, and both were unhurt. Air safety officials will now try to establish what caused the engine failure. Sunday's weather, a beauty ahead, a top of 28 degrees.
All this lifetime health cover. I mean, where are you supposed to start? I mean, I know we're going to need hospital, dentist, glasses, all that sort of thing. I'm just wanting to do the right thing for the kids, you know?
Me? I got a package deal.
Yeah, but that'd cost a bit, wouldn't it?
No, it's pretty good. You might get a nice surprise.
How come you know all this?
Just spoke to the right people, I guess.
I feel better now.
You 18?
What do you think?
I think you should show me your license.
Guys, what do you go out tonight? Dinner, champagne, mud wrestling.
I can't.
Nude karaoke.
You know I'm shy about singing in public. Bit damp.
Oh, yuck. Oh, we're having the toilet fixed. I want to move out with Paul.
Oh. Can I have a room?
Now's the time to see a sensational range of high-performance Commodores as well as the latest HSVs. Don't miss out. Visit the Holden people at City Holden today, right on the edge of the sensational Adelaide racetrack. City Holden, the Holden people.
Repco's big league legends are sticking the boot into prices. Motortech 400-gram WD degreaser glass and upholstery cleaner aerosols just $1.99 each. Ryco, Australia's biggest range of filters, oil filters from just $5.75. Castrol GTX2 5.5 litre bonus pack just $15.95. Nava Halogen Plus 30 globes from $13.95. Legendary brands at legendary prices at all Repco stores.
Now there's a more convenient way to bank. Bank while you shop. Hop into any Woolworths or Big W and ask for Woolworths Easy Banking. It's just a better way.
Suzuki Baleno hatch. Shh. Electric mirrors. Power steering. Oh, air conditioning. CD player. An economical 1.6 litre multi-valve engine. $15,990 drive away. I've heard enough.
Suzuki Baleno hatch. It's all you need to hear.
It's you. It's me. It's Suzuki.
Quarter time here at the Gabba. Brisbane 5-5, 35. Alistair Lynch, their only multiple scorer, has 2 goals, leading the Adelaide Crows 3-1. Darren Jarman has 2.
The Coca-Cola AFL Premiership Season 2000. Brought to you by Victoria Bitter. Mitsubishi Magna V6. One drive and you're hooked. McFish Deluxe Burger from McDonald's. And Telstra. Making life easier.
I had no idea that Malcolm Blight was such a whiz on the computer, Matty, but he's been working feverishly and looking at some of those stats. What do they tell you in the first quarter, Malcolm?
Well, obviously, Brisbane have had a bit more of the footy and 18-10 into their 50-metre area. And that's about the look of the game. The centre squares have been about even, but I think the half-back line of Brisbane have repelled it, particularly Voss, and also Darryl White's done a reasonable job as well. So they just can't quite get the ball through there smoothly.
Rashudo, 12 possessions for the quarter. He's probably been one of the best on the ground. The groin of Michael Voss, it would appear, standing up okay at the moment. There's Mark Rasciuto and Alistair Lynch. You were critical of the drop kick. And he's then let himself down with a couple of set shots in front of goal from a short distance out.
Yes, that's true, but I will say he's taken two very, very good marks. You know, not many other players on the ground could do what he's done. So he just doesn't need to spoil it by doing that.
So just about set to go in this second quarter. Crowd continuing to build up, but it is a big sporting weekend, not only here, but of course also in South Australia as well. And we hope our friends are enjoying this telecast on 7 throughout South Australia. Matty Clark in ruck. Here we go. Second quarter, 35 plays 19. The margin 16 points in favour of the Brisbane Lions. And a bounce also favourable for Clark. Tried to get out of the middle was Rasciuto. He was claimed. Smart applies a late tackle. In the meantime, there has been a whistle. Back it comes. And it will go the way of Chris Scott, who's also pleading for a 50. It falls on deaf ears. Scott goes back. He's in the middle of the ground. He had Huskus coming one side. He had Lawrence going another, and then he decided to go straight down the middle. Oh, another big fly. Black was lurking in the front there, still surging that ball down towards McLeod. Brown gets caught in the thick of things. The ball is held to the young man from South Warrnambool. And we've got a ball up. A ball up with Hayden Kennedy. Umpires Kennedy, Wen and McInerney in charge of proceedings tonight. The Ackermanis tackle is good. Holds the ball still in the scoring zone. Dangerous times for Messrs Bassett and co. So he says, darn this, I'm going out the back door.
I always worry when that happens. Sometimes someone's going to just take it off your boot and walk in and kick a goal. I mean, it always worries me that. But it was a fair way away. Interesting, Costa's running with Black, and that's really the only tag in the middle, or the real run-with player in the middle, I should say.
And you'd have to say that at the moment it's working. Costa's keeping Black out of the game as the Crows go forward, long and direct. Welsh on a lead off the ground. That just taking the turn and bouncing just the wrong side of the post from behind by Brian Benke. There he is, Brian Benke. He hit that ball at full pace off the ground. So the Crows reply with a point. Margin still 16. As that's what is ahead of Justin Lepich at the moment.
Yes, the Crows have a zone, and it's now pushing all over to the right. Nearly every player is on that right-hand side of the ground.
Goes there. Clark knocks it down towards Costa. Costa gives it off to Goodwin and gets it back, actually. Didn't quite perform what he needed to do. Up in the air, the mark by Rasciuto. That's definitely within his distance. 7 kicks, 5 handballs in the first quarter. 5 marks. And he'll kick from just outside the 50-metre line. No wind to speak of, as Sandy mentioned earlier on, so it's all a question of accuracy for Mark. Right on the line.
Yeah,
not a problem. It's a wonderful goal by Rasciuto. The Crows get the first.
Ali spent 29 years searching for Mr. Right. He's the one. Now she's decided who he is.
I think he could be perfect for me.
This is something that has gone unstated for a long time.
An all-new Ali, Monday.
A surgeon under investigation.
It's about your whole career.
A colleague who wants to bring him down.
He's trying to stitch me up to protect himself.
One person can save him.
You're the only one who can help him.
But will he? All Saints, Tuesday.
Big goal for Mark Rasciuto and the Adelaide Crows. Just the start they wanted in this second quarter. Here's Chris Scott. Bang! He's hit a brick wall and down he goes. Ackermanis tries to get it out. Hart went dashing through. Scott has picked himself up, but look at them claim him again. Jarman asked the question. Ashcroft, little toe poke. But to whom, Marcus? To whom? Marcus Bickley. Bickley kicks up towards half forward for Adelaide. Ran over the top to Rodman. Wonderful play! And Rodman cannot finish it off. Oh, dear, dear, dear. What an opportunity.
Oh, yuck. I mean, one of the things is, you know, he's an experienced player that he didn't sense that he was free. And I reckon as you get older, that's criminal. I mean, you've really got to know that you absolutely got a soda.
Lepich to Lawrence as the Crows ponder what might have been. Lawrence desperately looking for form. Kicks towards Ashcroft. What a time Marcus has had. 167 games without a miss. He's chasing that Jimmy Steins record. He kicks towards centre wing into no man's land. Hart is taken high. by Brown, but players allowed to go on, so Costa does. He gives it to Goodwin. He flicks it to half-back, and that's going to be okay towards Clark. Clark looks in towards the centre. Bickley starts to get something going. Prosciutto's almost beheaded, but he shrugs the tackle, and he comes wide to Edwards. Edwards is 70 metres from home. A high ball again, in towards half-forward. They pounce on it, but strong work. Almost one against the other there. Benke and Welsh, and it is Welsh who's out-bustled his teammate and taken the mark. Good start by Adelaide in this second quarter.
Yes, could have had a couple more, I suppose, but you could have said that about Brisbane in the first quarter, couldn't you? And footy is about taking your chances, and, you know, straight cooking's pretty good footy, and usually if you kick straight, you win.
Chance to cut the margin to just 3 points. Welsh. He's 30 metres out. It's a drop punt, and it's a good drop punt. He's kicked it.
And all over it. Welsh is second, joining Darren Jarman. Going back in a bit of time there, as you like to remind us before, Malcolm. I'll forget that, I'll forgive you, but Black gets it out of the centre. Up high, Edwards with McRae, falls to McRae. Can't get onto his left foot. Well, from where the umpire's standing, as we see the replay.
Now look at this, he's almost decapitated.
No, was that high standing?
Actually, it might have been. Well, he has a low jaw.
It's a great tackle, really.
It was, actually, it was.
Fine decision from Hayden Kennedy, and regardless of that, Nigel Smart has the ball and he's bombing it long. Pack forming, 20 metres out. White with the big punch. Down to the front, Voss keeps calm. Lappin to the boundary. Martin. Ackermanis has got 20 metres. He could go from here, or he's got Lynch long. Decides to use Lynch. He's got the sit on Bassett. It goes to him now. He can't mark it. It happened in the first quarter. Can he recover? He's got to be two. He's not going to. Hayden Kennedy won for ages before he blew the whistle.
Things are warming up.
A sense of the dramatic there from umpire Hayden Kennedy.
But just going back to the Adelaide forward line, then, I mean, there were 15 players around that footy, all of the Adelaide players really, and a few extra Brisbane. Hard work to kick a goal like that.
Slaps it back to Ashcroft, round the body, it's a goal! So Marcus, a goal from nothing really.
Yes, and one of the problems, you have this, have a look, Ashcroft just out the back again, and a tap from Tyson Stingline there to go forward. It's a great lesson. If you're going to tap it, hit it towards the boundary line defence. I mean, you probably taught that in grade year 1, ain't you, of it? But, I mean, it was an instinctive thing in his, you know, handful of games. But, yeah, great goal from Ashcroft.
A little bit of niggling in the centre there with Costa, Prosciutto, Black, Scott. Play, however, goes on. And it is the line through Scott down towards Malloy. Quickly out of the centre. And the Cat will have a shot directly in front, 45 out.
Yeah, young Brett Bigland's on him then. He'll learn that. Any kick coming down the middle, he's got to be the inside of his player. At least push the forward out to the boundary line. There was a whole heap of space out there, back in the middle. And as you can see, the most dangerous side of his space was back down the middle. So he'll learn that.
Came into the game with 8 goals, 2 for the season. He's kicked 1 already for the night, but that's away to the left.
Sandy, yes, one of the most asked questions as you travel around the country is, how come blokes can't kick it better if they're spending all this more time and etc., etc.? But
and what's your answer to that?
Well, I think you've got well, there's got to be a technique problem, and also you can never ever really put that game into practice. It's the pressure of the moment that can get you.
Stingline on centre wing, sending the Crows into attack. Well answered, Malcolm. Voss got a hand on it, but that was all. Almost thrown out by Malloy. Back to Voss. He looks towards centre wing. Clark was held by Brown, the youngster, getting a decent old initiation here tonight. Goodwin around the body, in towards halfback. Hard, had to go hard, and he did. McLeod weaves some magic. Wobbles a punt up towards half forward. The Wren hand pass off to Smart. Back towards Bickley. The Crows a chance to score here. Binky gets it across to Peter Vardy. Vardy goes for goal and kicks it. So Peter Vardy.
Ci tengo alla mia macchina, sai, è proprio un amore. Capirai, quindi, mi è venuto quasi un attacco cardiaco quando ha cominciato a fare bang, bang, bang. L'ho portato subito a Oltreciune e il meccanico mi ha detto che si trattava del timing. Hanno fatto la diagnosi, me l'hanno aggiustata e non mi hanno fatto pagare mica tanto, sai. Oltreciune, brava gente. I speak my language.
Peter Vardy's first. The Crows have 3 in this quarter. The Lions have 1. McDonald against Clark. Black, that's the 3rd centre clearance in a row for him, so he's getting amongst it now. Up and under, that's a good mark from Ashcroft. Will he use Black? No, he'll swing onto his right foot, hooked it back towards the lead of Lynch. With him Bassett, Lynch bodying, goes over the back. He's tucked up against the boundary line, he's kicked it back, almost a miracle goal. It'll be just the minor. He didn't try a drop kick from there, Malcolm.
It's a conference.
The conference between the...
Now, if they had a video, they wouldn't have to worry about all this, would they?
What are your thoughts then?
Oh, I think it's pretty well known, what I think.
Okay. Well, the decision's been made.
But not everyone agrees with that, Sandy.
No, some will say there are enough out there already.
Sure.
The decision has been made that it hit the boundary post, so it'll be a ball in. Clark, McDonald, both there. No clean possession. Quick handball from Black to Hart. Round the body. Tough one to mark. Malloy barrels through. Who cares who was there? No matter what jumper. He was going to get it, and it's a rush behind once again.
That's twice now in a row that Adelaide, when the ball's gone forward, Brisbane have had someone 5 or 6 metres off forward of the pack and becoming very dangerous. Someone's got to pick that player up.
Goodwin takes the kick in. Crows doing very well in this second quarter. Edwards on the outer side. Goes past the social club up towards Nigel Smart, almost down to the wing. Nigel wheels around and looks towards Robran territory. Now he had front spot. Vardy applies a lightning tackle. The ball spills free. Ashcroft's tackle was good. Jarman went straight up in the air. A rainmaker. Robran chases after it. White is there with him. So too Lawrence. And it was Lawrence who got the hurried kick, only as far as Rashudo. Picks up yet another possession with a quick hand pass to Smart. He bangs it in towards the pocket. Welch has got to beat a couple. Ricochets away from Justin Leppard.
Certainly just looking at Robran go for that mark then at centre-half forward. They are bombing it a fair bit. He's actually almost trying to pat it down to the front rather than mark it. I mean, you can still go for the mark, and if someone gets their fist on it, it'll go to the front anyhow. But almost to me, it looks as though he's not making it saying, this is going to be mine.
Wren trying to get a bit of it. Voss loses it. Wren. Big man does well again. Off he goes to Welch from a standing start. He pumps it in towards full forward. Slammed over the line by Craig Bolton. And we've got another throw. 6-8 plays 6-3. And 11 minutes of the first half remaining. Always a critical period for both sides. Welch puts the old foot on the accelerator and he bends it back for one behind.
His form in the Ansett Cup was terrific, this young fella, and he's been okay, you know, against the Eagles last week. I thought he, you know, looked one half reasonable player on the night, that is. But he certainly does have some magical qualities about him.
He certainly does. He can take the mark and he can finish, and he almost bent that round enough to score the goal.
Oh.
Bolton's under pressure. They've given it up. Stengline. Lead coming. It's not a good kick, but it's a terrific mark by Brian Benke. All rights, he probably shouldn't have got there because the kick had fallen short and died on him. He made good ground. So Benke, you had a similar shot. Here's the kick. That's a terrific mark in front of 3 Brisbane Lions.
He certainly attacks the footy in the air.
Well, he had a similar shot from a similar distance in the first quarter. This time it's coming back for him. It's coming back enough. It's a goal. He gets his first for the game.
Get all the weekend action fresh from the field in sport on Monday. Your health, fitness and fashion. Fresh ideas in lifestyle every Tuesday. Great taste, it's what South Australia's famous for. And it's hot off the presses in food and wine on Wednesday. Plus all the latest local news and world news. Fresh every day. The Advertiser. Fresh daily.
Ryan Benke gets his first goal, but more importantly, the Crows are in front. They lead by 2 points. Clark wins it for the Crows out of the middle. Nigel Smart almost gave away a free kick, but instead he sockers it down towards Benke and Co again. Vardy's streaming past. Vardy bends back an absolute ripper. They are off the Crows. 2 goals in 20 seconds, and Peter Vardy, what a confidence booster that one was.
See, there's some regulation plays in footy, isn't there? Just scramble the ball forward somehow, play in front, just in front as the ball gets there, get the half forward to run by, and then with wonderful skill, screw it round. About 13-second goal, that one. The world record's about 7, but it's nice to see the 13-second goal.
Peter Vardy, 2 kicks, 2 goals. Crows absolutely on fire, but there's been an infringement, and that's not what you want when you've got all the momentum. A chance for Brisbane now through Voss. Voss towards Lynch and Bassett. Concentrated too much on the bodywork, and it'll be the Crows if they can just keep it in there a chance. And they've done that. Going to ground, Goodwin. Here's Shattuck on the ground for his first kick tonight. Aaron Shattuck centres the ball to McDonald, and Big Bo McDonald gets it. So Biglands did well to keep it in for the Crows, but it hasn't come off. And for a young fella, Malcolm, Aaron Shattuck, his first kick, it's come off, so he's certainly going to feel good about himself. He hasn't made a mistake. He hasn't given it up. He's done the team thing.
Yes, I'm not sure that it was great play to get it where it got, lose the ball from the Crows, but still, he can kick a goal. We know that, don't we?
So Bo McDonald, he's got 1, and he remains at 1. Adelaide now by 7 points.
9 minutes remaining in the half. Bassett brings it back into play. Finds his mark in Tyson Stinglong. And he's going to go around the world in 80 days. Tyson Edwards. Back from whence he came. So switching play to the outer side. Then heads back in towards the centre. Just about beats them all. Huskus was on the bottom of the pack, tried to farm it out. Smashed forward by Michael Voss, but only as far as Costa, who gives it to Bickley. Quickly onto his boot, he goes up towards the left half forward flank region. Sean Wren's got to show his dash. Darryl White is too quick. White does well. Eventually picks it up on the outer side. Shepherding sees him clear. Goes towards Lappin, who drops what he should have taken. And we'll have a throw in on the outer side. He had it spent a little too early, I think, Mr. Lappin. He could sense that if he could get clear, but it wasn't to be.
Just a general observation, a lot of the kicks into the forward line haven't been spot on, have they? No one's been able to sort of really break away and really not open it up. It just hasn't been, you know, they're playing for keeps, I suppose, both of them, aren't they, really?
No doubt about that at the moment. So he decides to go again.
Yeah.
That's better. Lynch. I think he thought he may have got a free kick. He couldn't take the mark.
Was that one too late?
Nice observation, Malcolm.
Yeah, just not quite. Now, you know, he went to put the whistle to the mouth then. Bassett got grabbed by the leg, and the umpire went to go and then didn't. Amazing, isn't it?
1-1.
Yeah.
Back towards the centre. Martin flicks it now towards his skipper on left half forward. Hart should do the shepherding. Did it rather nicely, but then Michael forgot the ball. Now he goes again. They're under a ton of pressure at the moment. Hart takes the hand pass from Johnson, who's on the ground. In towards it, full forward. Oh, Lynch has done the mark of the year. What an absolute gem. Have a look at this again. You get over 500 frequent flyer points for those. Not bad, Malcolm. Not too bad.
No, it was a good mark. Probably the earlier jump, because Bassett collapsed underneath him, didn't hold him up. It's probably not as high as some this year, but a very good mark nevertheless.
Directly in front. So what, we OD'd on the frequent flyer points of it, didn't we? It's been amended to 168. Lynch directly in front. He doesn't like these. But he's hit straight over the goal umpire's head.
Mix the nastiest judge with the nastiest client, and you'd expect fireworks.
Scumball! Why don't you and Judge Judy go off and make...
But no one expected this. It's one hell of a practice. Monday on 7.
In Cold Feet, Adam and the nymphomaniac are off.
I'm exhausted.
Is he going back to Rachel?
Some of the things he said.
Do you want to go to bed?
Don't you think he could have been trying to send me a message?
Find out Tuesday on 7.
Lynch has 3. The Lions get within the point. The Gabba crowd just coming alive a little bit with that. Lappin. Jarman in there. Rashudo. Strength. Here's Lawrence. Clever handball, in fact, to Huskus. The ball ricochets forward. Voss against McLeod. Some talent there. Voss got it and got it out beautifully to Scott. Scott wheels around and looking for Lynch. Why not? He's got 3. Lynch and Bassett again. It comes to ground with Edwards. Edwards under pressure from McRae. Edwards decides to take the rush point. Just great to see. McLeod against Voss. Just so much talent in one area.
There is a call in some areas in football for that own goal or own point, as we should say, to be penalised in the shape of 3 points or something like that. That'd make it quite interesting.
They've obviously never played full back. People that said that, Marty.
I didn't say I did.
No.
I wouldn't be that silly to suggest anything like that.
You've already gone on record because you have. Costa. Take it, Matty.
Costa kicks to the outer side. Biglands was there, but it falls to Martin. The Lions had the numbers 2-on-1. That's not a good kick. It's put Ashcroft under pressure. They've worked it forward, the Lions, though. No, boundary umpire said that the ball was out of play. So right in front of the Lions Social Club, the scores are level.
I agree. It's quite exciting, isn't it? You see that the forward chasing the defender, and all of a sudden the defender's got to do something extraordinary or put it through the goals. It's a great part of footy.
Clark to do better with McDonald. Last year, Clark was teaching the young Tyro where to stand and how to hit it. Now he's up against him as Hart pushes it forward for the Crows. Byrne on the ground now. Handball is okay. It missed Benke, but at least it was ahead of him. Benke took his time. Martin got there late. Benke's kick is long. It's to the goal square. It's just to the wrong side. So Benke getting plenty of possessions on the forward line for the Crows, and they're back in front.
He's a live wire, Malcolm.
Yeah, look. Yeah, I think he's quite a handy player. I mean, his pace is probably his only worry, but as he's going at the footy and marking, terrific.
Ackermans would dearly love to celebrate with 4 points tonight, his 100th game. McLeod showed all the skills. Edwards round the body, back towards Ackermanis. Got a touch, shrugs one tackle, pops it over the top to Scott. Well done. Back towards half-forward. Lappin puts himself down in front, but Clark is there also. Gives it quickly down towards Byrne, who kicks to half-forward. Goodwin takes the mark. Away he goes, 70 metres out. Tumbling a punt in for Welch. And under no pressure, marks 15 metres out, almost directly in front.
Sure, the word tumbling then, a lot of players have had trouble with that footy tonight. There hasn't been a lot of pure kicking, has there? Sometimes you can actually get a bad footy. And a lot of good players aren't just making it spin right, let alone if they're getting to the target.
Welch to stretch Adelaide's lead. And he does. Scotty Welch has his 3rd goal, 2 in this quarter. And the Crows have a 7-point advantage.
Yes, and in this quarter, the Crows have been inside their 50 11 times to the Brisbane 10, so it's a pretty even quarter. But on the scoreboard, they have been very direct tonight, the Crows. You'd have to give them that. Sometimes I think there's been too many in a pack, but when they have got through, it's looked scary, and this fella's been terrific with 3 goals.
Back in the middle, the Crows have all the answers at the moment. Rashudo working hard, slapped out by Black to the advantage of Lappin. Lappin a quick, hurried kick forward. McLeod leads Hart to the race of the ball. Just can't quite get a clean pick-up on it, and it's over the boundary line. Good pressure from Hart. Andrew McLeod. Hart is his partner for the evening. Wherever he goes, Hart goes with him. Clark. And they both go to ground, the ruckman, so it spills over the back. Black against Costa. There's his partner. He gives it back to Ashcroft. Forward go the Lions. Good punch from Biglands. Crummer's needed. Ackermanis hooks it round the body. Lynch and Bassett. Lynch. No, the push has been parked. Free kick to Bassett. Got into his back. Lynch is prepared to do that. Bassett will take the free kick. It's not a good kick. It's 2-on-1. This should favour the Lions unless Biglands can do something. He does well, the big man. He's tapped it forward 30 metres. Lappin back towards Malloy. Quick hands to Bolton. Bolton throws it onto the boot. Back to where it just came from. Lynch and Bassett again over the back. It'll be a behind. Fascinating duel that when the ball is in the air between Bassett and Lynch.
Does that quite often, Lynch, doesn't he? Gets players out. He's done a couple 50-50s. That one was probably fair enough. It looked pretty plumb in the middle of the back.
Edwards brings it back in. Straight down the middle. Big pack of players. Biglands. Slapped forward by Black. Straight back towards Rhett Biglands again, however. McLeod. Little chip to Rashudo. Perhaps a little quieter this term, but he picked up 12 possessions in the first. Rashudo's kick is penetrating to the forward line, and Darryl White takes a fine mark. It's played well across half-back, goes to the outer side, and Ackermanis will chip in towards his skipper. Michael Moss, forward of the middle, looks in towards Hart, who takes the mark just on 50. Wants to go on with it. Does so now from 48 metres. Goes across the face of goal and puts in a behind.
Interesting play there from Sean Hart, that he actually decided to go rather than actually go back. But I suppose if you're going to wheel around on your left foot, probably more confident on the run. Seen him kick a lot of good goals on the run. So one of those decision-making only the player himself can make.
7-12. They've had their chances in front of goal. 9-5 to the Crows, who lead. Getting closer to half-time. Biglands. A good mark on half-back. Started on the bench towards Robert. Smashed clear. Malloy, a chance to clear. And does so to Chris Scott, who can run on. Again, Lynch will be the target. It's a battle of strength, and he's taken it somehow miraculously from behind. He has plucked it with one hand from the chest of Bassett. I'd like to see that.
I just looked at Lynch then, Malcolm. As Scott was coming, there was a whole heap of space for Lynch to lead into, but he didn't want to lead. He wants the ball in like that.
This is quite freakish.
That's blightish, actually. That is blightish.
I can understand that Nathan Bassett's probably said, well, hang on, he's marked that over my head. Surely that's around the shoulder or something like that. But I think it's a pretty good mark myself.
Lynch directly in front. They could go to the half-time break just about locked together, depending on his kick. It's perfect. He's kicked another one. So Lynch has 4. And this wonderful seesawing struggle continues at the Gabba. Just a point in it. This time it's in Brisbane's favour.
Well, I must say that Scott Cummings for the Eagles last week kicked 14 goals against the Crows, and Nathan Bassett didn't play. He had 8 to half-time, so you're really 4 goals better off this week with Lynch only having 4.
Got a supreme optimist, don't you? Gary Ayres looking on. Certainly a better story than last week. There's only 1 point in it. We're back in the centre. Contested ball, Jarman getting through some traffic, throws it onto the boot, forces it out wide. Robin leading Huskis. Huskis making some yards on him. Robin reading it the better. Quick hands and beautiful hands. Byrne bangs it forward. Lepage out in front of Welsh. Lions could clear here. Scott runs into trouble. And there's going to be a free kick. So they'll run it out through Johnson, who has Lepage, who has Darryl White out here in centre wing now. Darryl's got 30 metres. Lawrence tells him to run on. He may even have a shot here to the edge of the square. There's the little layoff kick to Malloy. Well done. One thing about Darryl White is he won't panic. when he's got the ball.
And
I reckon as a supporter you panic when he does those little kicks, though.
I reckon one of the great team rules is if anyone bounces the ball, they've got to kick it to a teammate.
Can't just bang it and waste it.
You can't bang it and waste it. Because everyone's out of position, usually you can find a teammate.
So Malloy from 48 metres has pulled it again. So 1 goal 3 to Jared Malloy. Every picture tells a story, and that's exactly how Jared feels at the moment.
That's it again.
They have missed some set shots, haven't they?
Yeah, my word they have. 8-13. Plays 9-5. Wren is a target. Did it almost casually in the end, but still very effective. Hart towards the centre. Still time for either side to score in this half. Lawrence, partly smothered. White, look out, Dazza. Gets it away nicely to Martin, off to Johnson. Another little chip is wide towards Lappin. On the outer side, wants to go again, and again he chips it up towards right half forward, taken by Bolton. He decides to go longer. That's better. Big flyers were Malloy and Lynch, both at the back. Wren is caught by Ackermanis. A cry of ball. Malloy chips in towards goal. The siren has sounded. There will be no addition to the score. In a frantic finish to the first half, Jared Malloy can't believe it. Sean Wren back in the thick of things once again. An intriguing first half. There's Jonathan Brown just leaving the bench, and Sean Wren meeting some of his teammates too. So at half-time, absolutely nothing in this game. Brisbane Lions have been off target. They're 8-13-61. They lead the Crows 9-5-59.
Here's a couple renovating their home. Unfortunately, he's put his foot in it.
Stuff on that side
And
there.
these two could do with some advice.
I'll tell you when it's level. I'll hold it.
And here's the Mitre 10 advice line. 136310. So now you can call any day and get expert on-the-job solutions.
We can fix it. Yeah.
From the specialists at the store that understands it's not just the low price. It's getting the right advice that really saves you money.
A bit off the other end.
Chisel a bit off the other end.
The potential of cloning is substantial.
No matter what you think of cloning, here are some facts. It's happening here in Adelaide. It's happening now, and it will affect us all.
We're talking in terms of millions of dollars within South Australia alone.
A special report on 7 News.
Tôi đến Albertson bởi vì tôi phát giác ra một tiếng động rất là kỳ cục ở cái máy xe của tôi. Nó kêu tích, tích, tích. Tôi nói cho họ biết điều đó và họ bảo là cái bộ phận tappers đang có một chút trở ngại. Tôi cần cái xe của tôi sửa trong một ngày, nhưng họ chỉ sửa mất có vài tiếng đồng hồ thôi. They are that good. They understand.
Two mums on the mend. Two private health funds. Both get the same care here in hospital. But she gets to go home early because she gets home help, nursing, cleaning service, even childcare, for no extra cost. She's with one of the others. She's with Australian Unity. The difference is standard cover versus little extra care. So, who's looking after you?
This is looking really good.
Great.
So you think we can save even more? Much more.
Did you know at the National we can tailor a home loan which could save years and thousands on your repayments? John and Ingrid can save $80,000 and 8 years. Pretty good.
How did you do that?
Get more than a home loan. Get a tailored financial solution from the National. Call 131312.
Lion gets around him easily and kicks to Lion. Lion marks and gives it off to the running Lion. The spotted Lion on the lead. Lion! Whether you're a fan or fanatic, get into AFL headquarters at Kmart, the biggest seller of official AFL gear. Why do you retire?
Outstanding health cover, no gaps, and a 30% rebate. Who's looking after you? Who else?
On Today Tonight, the seatbelts that won't save you. We take them out of cars and put them to the test.
And the strength just wasn't there.
The effects of age and use that no one warns you about. That's Today Tonight next week.
Welcome back to the Gabba. Saturday night football here on 7, wherever you may be viewing around Australia. We hope you are enjoying it. Very, very tight tussle unfolding here. Adelaide at one stage opened up a couple of goals lead, but at half-time it is Brisbane who's pegged them back. 8-13-61. Adelaide 9-5-59. One of the things we've talked about, Malcolm, that has been detrimental as far as the Lions game is being concerned, has been their kicking for goal.
Yeah, it has, Sandy. I think they've probably missed 3 or 4 real gettables, and I mean, you don't know which way the game goes then, but this is early in the first quarter, and just it was better from Robin. Then he marked the ball, and as we know what Jarman can do with a finish. But they looked a bit underdone early, Adelaide, but they've hung in with a reasonably good second quarter.
Just watching, while we watch the highlights, a couple of questions I would like to ask you. Was there anything in almost the last piece of play for the half when the Lions went into attack and there was Malloy and Lynch, I think, who flew for that ball, and there seemed to be just a lack of some sort of control up forward between them?
Yeah, it hasn't happened a lot, but it certainly did that time. It was either one or the other to go for the ball, and one of them there, of course, Malloy, just ran away from Mark Stevens, who was very, very tired after a few efforts earlier, and he's this player just standing off the pack. Just watch Ashcroft here. See that? I mean, that's almost unforgivable in the forward line for that to happen.
A bonus for Marcus.
Well, it was, indeed.
Can I just put, once again, the old coach's hat back on you at half-time? Crows down by a couple of points. What would you do? Would you make any changes? What would you do?
I don't think so. I think that it's settled down towards the end of the quarter for both sides. You know, Lee Matthews has added a couple of the younger guys, and similarly with Gary Ayres bringing on Biglands and Byrne, those sort of players. Yep. So I think that they look to settle down into a pretty good game style of footy. And actually, Alistair Lynch has probably been the difference between the two sides at the moment. Welsh has kicked 3 at the other end, but Lynch has kicked 4 and probably had a couple of other chances, but he has looked very dangerous. Such a strong player in the body. Not that Bassett's not trying. I mean, I think that Bassett's as good as anyone to play on him right now.
Let's have a look at the stats and see what sort of tale they tell us at this stage. Really, things pretty tight between the two, as you would expect.
Yes, indeed. And probably the only one there is that the ball's in dispute. Brisbane have won a dozen more, which is a lot in footy. You know, that's 25% more than what the Crows have got on their 48. So, and of course, shots at goal obviously tell a story. 35-23. You would have thought that Brisbane may have been a wee more in front at half-time.
A couple of points in it. We're going to take a break more shortly from the Gabba, including Scott Palmer.
All this lifetime health cover. I mean, where are you supposed to start? I mean, I know we're going to need hospital, dentist, glasses, all that sort of thing. I'm just wanting to do the right thing for the kids, you know?
Me? I got a package deal.
Yeah, but that'd cost a bit, wouldn't it?
No, it's pretty good. You might get a nice surprise.
How come you know all this?
Just spoke to the right people, I guess.
I feel better now.
Reduce the resistance, and you reduce the drag. That's the breakthrough idea behind Gillette Mach 3. Less drag means less irritation. Only Mach 3 has DLC Comfort Edge blades streamlined for less resistance. Mach 3 glides through your beard with less drag and pull for far less irritation. With a closer shave, in fewer strokes, with less irritation, Mach 3 from Gillette.
Well, the
From its conception in October 1990, this is a celebration of 10 years of the Adelaide Crows. The moments that won the hearts of a state. The heartbreak, the jubilation, the great news stories, the great matches, the premierships. The very best of the first decade of the Adelaide Crows. Join in the party. Get your video. It's out now.
Presenting the Great European Circus in Adelaide, featuring an array of stars from around the globe. See the Arabian Stallions, Western Action, jugglers, and our internationally famous clowns. There's knife throwing, amazing aerial artists, and direct from Russia, the world's greatest Cossack horsemen. Don't miss the Great European Circus in Adelaide from April 13th at Nathan Park. Book at Bass.
You gonna jump? Come on, let's do it. You haven't gone yet. No pressure. Don't back out now, man. Come on, jump! Chicken.
Nothing's more chicken than the new Pizza Hut pizzas, now with 50% more chicken.
131166 Pizza Hut.
This is looking really good.
Great.
So you think we can save even more? Much more.
Did you know at the National we can tailor a home loan which could save years and thousands on your repayments? John and Ingrid can save $80,000 and 8 years. Pretty good.
How did you do that?
Get more than a home loan. Get a tailored financial solution from the National. Call 131312.
I'm here at the Gabba, if you may have just tuned in. A pretty tight game of football with the Brisbane Lions having plenty of opportunities but leading by just 2 points at half-time. 8-13 to 9 goals 5. A good second quarter by Adelaide where they booted 6 goals 4 to get right back into the contest. Plenty of news in the world of football happening, despite there being only one game played earlier this afternoon and, of course, a game last night. For all the news, for all the gossip, there's only one man. Scotty Palmer of the Sunday Herald Sun is working feverishly at the moment. We're just going to interrupt him. And Scotty, I noticed actually watching a television monitor up here today as David Parkin was leaving the ground, and very unlike David Parkin, he did appear to be showing some aggression.
Well, police are calling witnesses to that fact, Sandy. Yes, they're asking anyone who saw any incident in the race at the MCG after the match to come forward. Apparently some allegations have been made. They said that they want to ascertain the full circumstances of that little incident. It was caught on camera. David was playing it down today. He said, I didn't throw any hooks. He said, I can't fight my way out of a paper bag. And he said, I wouldn't want to do anything like that in any case. And he said, were the fans any sort of more vocal today after that defeat? He said, they're always vocal around me. So I don't know what's going to happen of it, but it'll happen over the next couple of days, Sandy, for sure.
Who knows, Scotty? It might well have been John Elliott or someone like that, just off screen that we couldn't see, but we won't worry about that for the moment. Let's turn our attention to Essendon. Joe Mercedes, what's his current situation?
Well, he emerged from a bit of a sort of a to-do with a suspected broken jaw today and being reported for wrestling, along with his compatriot Fraser Brown. And Dean Wallace jumped into Summer Slam down there at the MCG, and there was, I tell you what, there was a few hammer locks and a few leg locks. He's been reported for wrestling too. Kevin Sheedy was asked about it after the match. He said, didn't see a thing, but it must have been a good one.
Scotty, Sheeds really does like to keep us guessing, doesn't he? He had a couple of boys we're used to seeing in the forward line down in defence, trying to curb Mr. Whitnell, who was in sensational form.
Yeah, Whitnell, 25 kicks, 16 marks today, and he put James Hird and then Matthew Lloyd on him. He said, I wanted to try them in new positions. An amazing man, that Sheedy.
We're up here in Brisbane. There's a bit of a word, though, that someone from around this area is heading south to check on Matty Richardson.
Yeah.
You know about that?
A specialist flew down from the Gold Coast today to examine Matty Richardson. They put him under anaesthetic. He examined that foot that's causing all the problem. It's a tendon in front of the foot, Sandy, that makes it go like that. And they'll know the results of the examination tomorrow. Richmond have called a press conference for 11 o'clock on Monday. They're hoping it's only 3 to 4 weeks, and we're just hoping it's not the season for Matty, Sand.
Yes, let's hope that for Richmond fans and for Matthew that he is going to be okay, and we do see him again this season. Scotty, while you were doing that, there was a bit of overlay, and so we didn't see exactly what you did. What happens to his foot? Just show us again, will you, please?
When the foot goes up and down like that, that's the tendon there. That's it. It's been ruptured, apparently.
You'll never make a doctor. Peter Everett, Scotty, is he going to play?
Well, the Tigers noted that he didn't actually turn up for training on Friday night, and they were heartened by this. But the word from the Saints today that he was at the team meeting today, did get the game plan, will be at the Docklands tomorrow.
That's good news. If the Saints are a little concerned about Peter Everett, I would imagine that Kangaroo fans too would be asking the same question about Wayne Carey. Will he or won't he?
He caught the plane at 4 o'clock this afternoon for Sydney, although the Roos have packed aboard a 23rd man, Brett Chandler, just in case. The Roos said that Wayne really wants to play, and the Swans are going under the understanding that he will play. So if he plays, it's going to be a miracle. He's got something to do with an inflamed pubic bone, Sandy.
OK, Scotty, you being the doctor, we'll let you handle that. Gary Ayres is here tonight. His side is performing very well. They're down by just a couple of points. He appears to be handling the pressure, if there is pressure, pretty well.
Well, he was asked today, and he said, I've got no control over the tenure of the job, but the club put me to do a job, and that's what I'll be doing until I hear anything else. He said the committee was fully behind him, and he's got the firm belief in himself and what he's been doing with the Crows. So let's hope they can bring something off tonight.
Yes, let's hope for his sake and for the Crows that they can do something. Just in closing, one of the players he's up against tonight is Jason Ackermanis, playing his 100th game. We thought he was going to come out with plaited hair, but that had cold water poured on it. Has he got anything lined up, though, Scotty?
It was a nice story tonight. When he went out on the ground, he actually did some sign language. He's learned the deaf and dumb language, and he made a message to, gave a message to two people in the stand, Gary and Karma Legg, the parents of his girlfriend, who were really sort of taking him under the fold. And the message was, I love you and appreciate all that you've done for me, but it's no big deal, said Jason. He said, I love them, and they've done wonders for me over the last 3 years since my mum died of cancer. It's just a nice touch from a boy.
Yeah, it certainly is, Scotty. He's had 8 possessions so far in the game. Let's hope that he has a big second half. Scotty, nice to join you once again.
And you keep punching, Sandy.
Oh, we'll keep punching.
I tell you what, Sandy,
about that, Scotland.
Punching to
there
all
is
the people
a 2-point margin
today.
here at the Gabba. We're going to take a break. Back with the second half shortly.
This news update brought to you by Colonial. Your home, your loan, your way.
Hello again. Air safety officials are trying to establish why a single-engine plane had to make an emergency landing at Tennyson Beach this afternoon. The pilot with a trainee on board were on a flight from Parafield when the engine suddenly cut out, forcing them to head for the nearby beach. And the damage bill from yesterday's massive fire at Regency Park might reach $10 million. Sparks from an angle grinder are believed to have triggered the blaze. Fine and 28 degrees tomorrow. See you then. Good night.
Channel 7 now brings you
leather seats. The luxurious Mitsubishi Verada. Nothing overlooked. Mitsubishi.
Enjoy the feeling that sparkles inside. Live every minute, enjoy the ride. Taste all the excitement that life has to give. The more you enjoy, the more you live. This is the real.
Should have bought a bigger esky.
The world is yours, Coca-Cola, enjoy.
You've obviously worked very hard on this. These figures are very, very good. You really should be rewarded for your effort. You've done a great job.
This is going on the fridge. Now let me guess, it's me?
If you're in business and could use more free time, call Bank SA about eBank.
I am the real
I was there the day that the Power proved to the Crows that we are the best. Most people didn't think the Power had a chance. We led pretty well right throughout the second and third quarters, and then in the fourth quarter, that's when Crows started getting back. Desperation, like, kick a goal, kick a goal. It was a big moment for them because they proved to South Australia that they were just as good.
Tomorrow, you've got double the reason for coming to the city. Truscott Hi-Fi are open, and their new showroom is double the size. So you get double the bargains. Truscott Hi-Fi, open tomorrow.
There you go, yeah? Oh, a new steering wheel. Better get a new car to go with it then, huh?
Welcome back, both sides back out on the ground for the second half. If you may have just joined us, Brisbane leads by 2 points. Had their opportunities in the first quarter and they beat it 5 goals 5 to 3-1. But the Crows hit back in the second with a 6-goal quarter. The Brisbane Lions were off target in the second. They beat it 3 goals 8 and were sadly astray. That looks like Craig McRae sitting down, or lying down there, just getting himself ready for a stint in the second half. He's going to start on the bench. Brisbane Lions have missed 5 set shots from directly in front. That's almost unforgivable. But we're into the second half, and let's see what's going to happen. Threaded through to Bickley, flat-looking helicopter punt up towards Wren, who was a couple back, couldn't take it cleanly. Welch around the body has given them a dream start for the second half. What a start in the opening 30 seconds for the Adelaide Crows, and Scotty Welch, who now has 4 goals.
Yes, as we've mentioned, Matty, he does have some magic about him, doesn't he? His recovery for a terrific aerialist is excellent. And that's a wonderful snap. And Sean Wren attack on the ball, and he actually got up to the right spot, just in front.
Back in the centre. The Crows wrestle the lead. Beau McDonald flies high. Again, it's out of the centre through Adelaide, and they do it beautifully. Goodwin gives it to Byrne. He spears a worm-burning pass into full forward. Wren couldn't take it. Smart's under the pump. Pressure now on the defence as it is locked up at half-back by Aaron Shattock, wearing the number 34 Guernsey. Picks himself up, the young man who came from Woodville, West Torrens. Boy, has that football team lost some players in recent years to the AFL. But good luck to Shattock. As we have another bounce, courtesy of Stuart Wen, the man in white.
There's a whole heap of players around this ball. This is where I really like the forward line, just to try and spread it out a bit. I mean, it is so difficult to get a good, easy kick out of this area. This really does play a defender's hand.
McDonald, White tried to come over the top. Here's the danger man in Welsh. Forces out wide, Voss off the ground. Scott under pressure. Managed to keep this calm. There's that kick from Black that you spoke about before the game, Malcolm. Just he appeared to be clear and then kicked it into the smother. He's following it up, and Costa sent it over the boundary line.
Now, it almost looked as though Welsh got clear there, but there were so many players around. It takes an absolutely freak performance to get out of that. I really would like all the players just to spread it open. Give yourself a bit of room as a forward line player.
Well, they've got to go with them, don't they, the defenders? They have to move out and clear it open. Bickley pushes it forward. Chance gone begging there. Juskus clears for the Lions. Long kick, beautiful kick. Hard punch. Stenglein, Byrne. Back to McLeod now. Crows go forward once again. Welsh and Lepage. Lepage reads it the best. Just leans back off Welsh. Plays on. Poor kick. Voss goes straight past him. Black and Costa. Costa with pace. Gets a foot to it. Well done, Costa. He'd be happy to see this over the boundary line. He does, but not in the fashion that he was looking for, because he's kicked it out on the full. Just when he'd done everything right, he had to beat 2. He did so, but then gave it up. Simon Black now. A pretty static forward line. In fact, He really has no options here. He just has to kick it straight up in the air. It's going to suit Matthew Clark from the Crows. It falls to Byrne. Hart backs away, then kicks it towards Wren. White from behind. Big punch. McLeod. Ashcroft for the Lions. Quick hands to Voss. Voss accelerates. Kicks it towards Lynch. He's the target. He has 4 goals. Goals again. Alistair Lynch. He's Sandy. I don't care whether it's 168 points. He's doubling it now. Another big leap from Lynch. But he took 10 marks last week against Port Adelaide. And he's taken some rippers tonight. 4 marks to Lynch. He is the most dangerous forward on the ground at the moment. Certainly, Malcolm, it gives the midfielder some confidence to kick it long towards him. From 40 metres, he's missed again. Well, the Gabba crowd, they must sit there and think, well, what's Lynch going to do at this time? But the positive is that now Brisbane, 4 goals 6 from set shots, but at least from Alistair's point of view, is getting his hands on the ball. 3-point margin. The kick towards Clark. McDonald gets into his back. Bolton there for the Lions. Wrapping up Bickley was Ashcroft, and it'll be a ball up.
3 points the margin.
Matty, you said Lynch hasn't trained very much this week. Perhaps his marking looks okay, but his kicking, it's always been a bit of a problem though, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think what you talked about before, Malcolm, it's not his technique, it's more of a question of the thinking about, I've got to kick the goal.
McLeod's kick goes back towards the centre. Jarman couldn't get a run at it. Well done by Martin. Got through some heavy traffic, goes wide to the outer side. The mark dropped by Voss, but the ball was unsighted for much of its journey. Costa works hard. Chopped off, however, by Shattuck. Scott. Chris Scott looks up towards left half forward. Lynch comes steaming out again. He's getting plenty of the football. He's just got to convert. Just go back and go bang. Although now, on a reasonably tight angle, and he's not wasting a lot of time, will probably kick it. Oh, the moan of the crowd tells the story again. And this time out of bounds on the full. Still 3 points the margin. So no addition to the score. Good mark taken by Clark. They get it up towards Rashudo on centre wing. 19 possessions in the first half, but Michael Voss makes sure that he's going nowhere in a hurry. Club champion a couple of years ago, Mark Rashudo. And 3 times All-Australian. Been a fantastic player. Martin. The hand pass surging it down towards Voss. Chopped off nicely by Stingline. Young man did well. Back to half forward for the Crows. Almost a lack of talking by the Brisbane defence there, and it could be locked up. Lawrence goes again. Johnson's at the bottom, and he is going to take the free kick. Started on the bench. Got his chance in the second quarter. Leppich breaks clear. Johnson's got in. Leppers away. Goes up towards Voss at half forward. McLeod just taps it over the back. Coming out strongly was Lynch, unable to take it initially. Now he's got it. Oh, no, Alistair. This is a nightmare.
Four goals for and out of bounds and a couple of others, I suppose, but just tried to kick it too hard, really. Just didn't need to do that.
Could he kick it with his left?
Oh, certainly, but I mean, you know, I think if you're confident, you should, but he must have felt comfortable the other way.
Good hands, Malloy.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a matter of just a bit of composure, really, wasn't it?
He had the time, didn't he? No question of that. Edwards.
Probably much easier from up here, too. I mean, there was a few more players around.
There's been some superb games played from this box. Up towards full forward again, Malcolm. Martin, caught. Costa, ricochets clear, off to McLeod. From half back, he just goes bang. Pumps it high. Wren's got a sprint. White's got a sprint. Lawrence is at the back. He's going to test the recovery powers of Darryl White. Picked up by Binky. Round the body he goes, but only Paris Eustace, who chops it off at half back and then transfers play to the outer side and Justin Leppich.
Just had a thought watching Costa and Black run around and Ashcroft and Rashudo. you'd probably say the two Adelaide boys are on top in that midfield area, that perhaps Black just goes and plays on Rashudo, and it just might mix the match up.
Yep. Well, it can't hurt, because Costa certainly with 13 possessions up against Simon Black with just the 10, and Costa's role is purely or mainly as a defensive go-with role, and he's getting more of the footy. The Crows go forward to Welsh. Beautiful kick. And Scott Welsh, who has 4.
Just back himself, Justin Leslie, doesn't he, with that pace, you know, a lot of those guys, and he's been terrific, obviously, but has found him out a bit on this lead a couple of times, and terrific if the ball goes high and at the back. Leppich just makes them look silly, but if the kick is right, Welsh is dangerous. Well, Lynch at one end with 4 goals 4, but at this end, Welsh with 4 goals 1, looking to make it 5, but he doesn't. It's contagious. He's not happy. Adelaide out to a 3-point margin. Now that is the first set shot they've actually kicked behind from. Matty, the ground, it just does look a bit shifty, doesn't it, in all fairness? I wonder if some of the guys, you know, we talked about perhaps the ball was a bit ordinary, but just occasionally, if you're not sure of the ground, I mean, it looks perfect. It looks good, but it's not perfect underneath. It hasn't quite knitted as well as it could have. There is a little bit of sand around, so occasionally we've seen a little bit of movement. But the saving factor is that it is solid underneath. As Martin works it out in front of Des Headland on the ground now. He's kept it in somehow, but it will be to the advantage of the Crows. Smart, first on the scene, does well to Hart. He in turn to Bickley. One too many. Shattuck perhaps could have taken possession, but knocks it forward. Scott on the up. Headland across the ground. A bit fortunate. No, Jarman. He'll take the free kick. He made sure he got it. He was away, and now he's McLeod. Here go the Crows, looking for Benke, but unfortunately for him, and really, that should have gone to Benke there. The Lions will look to get out through Leppich. Leppich goes to the outer side and kicks. No, he's taken 2 bounces. He's going to take them on. Has he gone too far? No.
Finds Alistair Lynch on the outer side, but he's way too far out to score. Spears a pass into his zone, and Bassett takes it.
Unbelievable then from Leppich, you know. As soon as the ball went to Huskis, he was off. Just read it and off.
Sting line into Smart. And has it in the middle of the Gabba. The Crows have the lead by 3 points. You get the feeling that this one will go down to the wire. Vardy is trying to stretch that lead, and he has by another behind. Peter Vardy. He's done a bit of time this season. He's back now. White, usually spot on with the target.
Oh, it was a really bad play there. Someone didn't go to the other side of the zone. It was all open.
Huskis to Lawrence. Another Lion looking to pick up his form. Big Bo McDonald takes it now. Gives it off to Adam Huskis, and bang, you're going to run into trouble, courtesy of that hand pass. Bo does well. He extricates the team, and he kicks the full forward. No mark is taken, but Hart should tie it up in goal. And he does.
It can look like a gentle and graceful cloud, but up close, the avalanche is a deadly, uncontrollable mass of snow and ice.
It started tumbling me.
Traveling up to 200 kilometers an hour, it can crush entire villages in seconds.
Well, it's like a bomb went off.
Then, from the bitter cold to the baking heat, where the name Death Valley says it all.
Either adapt or die.
And any wrong move could be your last. Don't miss the final Savage Planet, Monday on 7.
So the Lions back in front here at the Gabba, courtesy of Sean Hart's goal. McDonald crucial in getting it to him. The Crows working out the centre. They're on top in this quarter from the centre square. Burns left foot kick up forward towards Smart. It goes over the back to Leppich, who backed himself in. He's got Lappin clear on the outer side. Lappin's got 25, 30 metres to himself. Bounces it straight away. Always wonder why that happens. He could have ran all the way. Now he's given it up. Scott, under pressure, forced to kick forward, and that suits Ben Hart for the Crows. Hart, was he off? Perhaps he might have been, but according to umpire McInerney, he wasn't. So he gets the second chance as he kicks to the centre wing. Coming through late, Shattuck, Lawrence, low kick, out in front of Malloy. It's missed him by a good 10 metres, and it'll be a boundary throw-in. So poor disposal from Stephen Lawrence. Michael Voss with him, Stengline.
It's a great little learning curve.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Tyson Stengline.
Just stick with him.
Yeah.
See where he takes you. Boundary throw-in, it falls to Jarman. Quick hands. Ackermanis threw it away. Hart, can he get 2 goals in 2 minutes? He can!
Here's a couple who are preparing for a family extension.
Into this mess.
Mum, it'll be lovely. We've got a beautiful little freeze to go around.
Here's our Easter projects catalogue, full of great paint ideas. And here's the Mitre 10 specialist,
I'd recommend Accent
with all the advice you need.
brand, stain resistant. We'd cut in around the corners, then fill in the main area with the roller.
From a store that understands it's not just the low price,
I told you it would be perfect.
it's getting the right advice that really saves you money.
Sean Hart has his second, as Mark Rasciuto has a spell on the bench. Interesting. 75 plays 67, an 8-point lead to the Lions in a quick turnaround. Lappin long out of the centre. Suddenly they're inside 50 once again. Don't tell me Hart's going to figure in another one. He got a sniffer, but now Voss has 2. Pushes towards full forward. Voss will go again. Still going. Finally it hits the woodwork. Just get the feeling that if one side was to break, it could be the Lions with quick goals. Crows really need the next one as a steadier. McLeod could give them a start. Kicks up over the centre. No mark taken. Lappin crashes into Vardy. No clear hand pass comes out initially. That was well done by McLeod to Black. Now Black looks down towards the forward line. And he pinpoints Ackermanis. He goes into the pocket very quick. McRae's dropped down there. Put him under the pump. He bends it back to Malloy. He wants to play on 2. So Lappin, on a far better angle, will go back and have a shot 30 metres out.
Just lost control of the footy here, the Crows, haven't they? Particularly out the centre after those 2 goals. They've really been forced to hit 3 in a row now.
All of a sudden, it could be a 15-point deficit. 9 at the moment. Lappin, who's kicked 1 so far tonight. That was in the first quarter. Usually pretty good in front of goal. Having said that, we know it'll be a behind.
I'll take responsibility. Sandy, I said he'd kick it.
Ah, well, 10 points.
Yeah, I'm still amazed. I keep saying this. Blokes kick the ball better on the run because they're at full tilt and know where they're heading for. They train a fair bit like that. When they get in front of goals, they slow down to almost a walk. It's almost unnatural.
Well, they changed their complete shot at goal.
Yeah.
Different style of kicking for some reason. As it comes to Biglands, he forces it out wide. Here's a chance for Byrne for the Crows. He's going to go back inside looking for Robbery. It's missed him. Bradshaw applies the tackle. Spills them up. There's tackles everywhere. No player on his feet. And it'll be a ball. So 50-50 there.
Well, that's a good get for Brisbane, I can assure you. For them to knock the ball up virtually centre wing is a great result.
Gabba crowd making some noise. Red only to beat Bradshaw, but fortuitously it fell to Bickley to bang it off the ground. Good work by McRae to give it off to Huskus. I don't know about that kick though. 4 metres to the ground. White searching handball. Hetland caught by Smart. Huskus goes to recover. He's gang tackled by a couple of Crows. Goodwin now slips it out. Luckily for the Lions, Scott was there. Long kick, 2-on-1 contest. Malloy up, down the ground, Voss in front. Good work by Stengline. It falls to Voss. He dribbles it forward. Is it coming around? Has it got enough? It has!
Welcome to the Bridgeway Hotel. Coolabah $9.99.
BB 30 pack.
$29.99.
Queen Adelaide range.
$5.99.
Angus Brew at $7.99 each.
Or $84 a carton plus a free Magnum.
Bacardi, $24.99. I didn't look at the camera.
If you like to sip and you want to save, you can't go past your local Sip and Save.
This Gabba ground taking a little bit of spin, as Michael Voss will attest to. His first goal, and suddenly a change has come over this game as Martin kicks the lines to half forward again. Little bit of aerial works. The sting line half pass is okay to Edwards. He defends and goes towards half forward. Smashed clear once more. Scott sweeps it wide. Bradshaw spent considerable time on the bench. He gets an awful bounce. He says, darn, this'll belt it clear. And he does to Ackermanis. Jason Ackermanis keeps it in play. Centering ball now. Testing time for the Adelaide Crows at the moment. Oh, McRae off the ground. Don't tell me he's kicked another one. He has. Craig McRae has kicked his first. The Brisbane Lions have kicked clear. 12-17 plays 10-7.
Yes, that Edwards' kick didn't go very well up forward, so his opponent in Ackermanis has got loose and kicked the ball into the goal square. Surely as it does, and Craig McRae sockers one off the ground. 4 in a row to the Lions. Pretty dangerous time now for the Crows.
Dangerous time indeed for the Crows. Just over 6 minutes remaining. Brisbane now have gathered some real momentum. Interesting, their forward setup, the Ackermanis and Voss, players you don't often see static, standing inside the 50. In the centre again, so important. Costa with some strength. Jarman, quick give on the up to Sikalella on the ground now, but his kick falls short into the arms of Aaron Shattuck. He's doing okay. Huskus, so often the man that peels off first, out in front of White, heads to Martin. White will run on. Martin's kick goes longer towards Lappin. Bickley arriving, good mark to Lappin. Having a fine game, Nigel Lappin, backing up from last week. Bickley so strong usually in those situations. Ashcroft in the middle. Don't know about that kick, but finds Martin almost on the half volley. Now he kicks it inside the 50, poorly. A bit of luck there, goes through. Robrin, Voss cuts it off. Lions push forward again. Biglands there with Brown. Coming in Lepage. Almost. Malloy's underneath it. He couldn't get it. The ball falls to ground. Still a chance for the Lions. Malloy trying to use his strength. Hooks it around, but it bounces into the behind post. It'll be a throw-in with the Lions leading by 22 and surging.
Mostly Matthew Robrin, who's done before, has gone onto the ball, Fred. The last couple of centre bounces, I mean, they've gone half forward, but hasn't quite stopped them yet. And yet Wren still being used up forward. I just thought just a little 10-minute burst from Sean Wren there may have been the go.
Malloy pushed it forward. Here's Robrin. Quick kick out. Bickley needs support. Gets it. Robrin playing well now. Running on to provide the support. Sikalella. Great call, Malcolm. White, as he's done so often tonight, just punching forward. Scott reading it. Out wide to Hart. He's already kicked 2 goals in this quarter. Looks ahead. Nothing there, so the little short pass. Dangerous. Punch by Edwards is good.
Well, I'll just follow that up. I mean, Robrin can get a kick and, I mean, set up the play. And, I mean, that's what he's got to do too. He's really more of a mobile tool ruck rover. And with Sean Wren sort of almost being anchored in the forward line now and not being able to get hold of the footy, just wonder if reversing roles just for 5 minutes might help them all.
Black's kick a little too short. An important couple of minutes. Adelaide have to be very careful they don't let Brisbane scoot clear and set up what could be a winning break. Biglan's down to Rashudo. Back towards the wing. McRae makes sure that Stengline sees it over the line.
Gee whiz, 74 possessions to 54 at this stage. It's 20 more. But 23 marks to 8 in favour of Brisbane.
And 22 points the margin in favour of Brisbane.
Sometimes kicks aren't all that important. I mean, it sounds silly, but I don't think they're all that important in footy. I mean, it's what you do with them, where you get them. But
here's Jarman from Binky.
We only need one from this bloke sometimes.
And he doesn't mind them on the run, so let's see what he can do with the set shot. He's not bad at those either. He's kicked 2 so far. In fact, they're opening 2 goals.
Probably the toughest shot for goal anyone's had for length of time.
Yep. The right footer in the right forward pocket. Sensational kick. That's really tough, but he's got it.
There's no better choice when it comes to car insurance.
This Saturday, you can afford to tell everyone everything at the lowest ever per minute STD rate. Only 1 cent per minute plus 40-cent connection fee. Only Telstra customers get the Telstra Advantage.
Gary Ayres looking on. Darren Jarman has arrested the slide. After 4 goals in a row, the Lions, a magnificent set shot from Jarman. Martin getting plenty of it. Clever kick to Ackermanis. He's away. Long. It's a good kick. Malloy should have grabbed it. Hart just poking it forward with the boot. They'll look to rush it through. Malloy gets a kind bounce. And as only Jared can, makes them pay.
The old D9 at work, eh?
Well, he dropped the mark, but he made up for it.
Well, there's a very good reason why this has all happened. As he watched that come in, Bassett comes back, goes to ground. So that's 1 player to ground. Here's young Biglands, straight to ground. No pressure applied at all. I mean, I'd love to play footy still. If every bloke around you went to ground, I mean, you just can't afford to do that. And I mean, 2 key defenders.
2 goals to Jared Malloy, both coming at that end of the ground. And the Jarman goal very rapidly answered. So let's see what Stevens can do. He sends the Crows deep into attack once again. They need a grab. Welsh was in front, but he couldn't take it. They're still able to try and lock it up in the pocket. Clever little clap back, but it's taken by Scott. In the meantime, the free kick's going to come back for a push. We'll have a look at this one again because Brian Binky did cop one.
Interesting, Sandy. Bradshaw going up for ruck as we watched this. It was a little nudge, and he what do you say? They milked it for what it was worth.
That's it.
I don't quite know what that means. We're not on a cow paddock now, but just with Bradshaw going up in ruck, I mean, Matthews has actually responded to Robin going in ruck, and by putting Bradshaw in ruck, the leading goal kicker at the club for the year.
Binky. Good-looking kick off the boot from Brian Binky. Just away, drifting at the last moment from behind. So,
and this is where you throw Ren in now, wouldn't it? With Bradshaw there. I mean, that just for one, it might give Sean that jump at the ball he might need. I think every football lover would love to see him come back.
No doubt about that. 21 points the margin. It was very close. Lepage. Oh, he slipped out. That was that surface, I reckon you're talking about there, Malcolm.
Yeah.
Speaking of the surface, Bradshaw also slipped, but he's picked up a free kick. It will be interesting to see what the players' thoughts are. Bradshaw kicks towards half forward. Brown got a decent old shove. He was in front of the pack, but no free kick. Bickley to ground. Hart is there also. Costa close to the line. Too close. Too close.
It's interesting. I wonder how many other coaches in the competition would have their best and fairest, their leading goal kicker at this stage after 4 rounds on the bench and then playing ruck.
He's kicked 16 goals in 4 games.
Because the game is not only about kicking goals, it's about contributing to the team.
Yeah, well, Daniel Bradshaw, 16 goals, 5 coming into this game. Up against Robran. Ackermanis tumbled out of it, socket off the ground. Up towards left half forward. Lynch and Biglands. Now that was deliberate. That wasn't very subtle at all.
No. You're going to do that, aren't you, early in your career? You just want to get through it all.
Off to Michael Voss. Up to full forward. Oh, a big dose that came through as if there was no tomorrow. He lost the ball, and so too is his side. Robran takes it. Again, looks for some respite on that outer side. Huskis, a flyer, and then recovers. Now applies assistance for Ashcroft, who kicks it round the body towards Lynch. They swamp him, causing another ball up.
Pretty important passage here. There hasn't been a score for a while. I mean, Adelaide need to stop Brisbane. There was a bit of a run on.
Yeah, you're right. With just a minute and a half remaining. Important for both sides.
Robin wins the tap easily. Voss looks to keep it in. Hooks around the body. One-on-one. Edwards and Ackermanis. Good punch again from Edwards. Ackermanis flicks it forward. Robin. He's everywhere at the moment. Bangs it out towards the boundary. Bigland's there for the Crows. McRae gets to him. Another ball up. Another boundary throw in.
Yes, I'd love to say though, but watch some tape there, but he is in the play, but nothing's happening, you know. They still can't get past half forward. Only been once in the last sort of 5 or 6 minutes. And he's touched the ball a bit around the ball.
Costa, again, hugging the boundary, down towards Wren. Almost that time for Sean. Benke loses it. 3 or 4 players diving the ball. Benke in there again with him, Shattuck. Another ball up.
Just technically, Wren's trying to get the ball right at the top. Sometimes when you're out of form like that and coming, you know, obviously missed a lot of footy, to actually try and get it just above your eyes. That way, White really is going to struggle to reach over him.
To get there. There's Wren with the knockdown. Black red at the best, though. Handballs forward in hope. Costa and Voss. Voss off the ground. Got a fair bit of distance with it. It's gone past everyone. Biglands back for Goodwin. Goodwin swings around and then drives long and low into space. Rashudo back on the ground. Doesn't take it cleanly. Recovers to pick it up now. Rashudo, little kick out towards Bickley. Bickley's got some space now. Bradshaw comes to meet him, but Bickley long and low to Stevens, and Stevens marks it right onto the siren. So he's going to kick from about 45 metres. It's a tough angle. How do you see this, Malcolm? What's he like, set shots?
As a defender, he's pretty good. No, I shouldn't say that. Look, it hasn't been one of his strengths, although he did kick 6 goals in a game in his first season with Adelaide. So,
in the context of what you guys just mentioned, say a minute and a half ago, about how important the last 90 seconds of the quarter was, it's all come down to this kick to go in with some momentum at least at 3/4 time. Mark Stevens looks okay. The goal umpire hasn't moved far, but the body language from everybody concerned tells the story. It's to the near side, and so it's just the one behind. So at 3/4 time, the Lions enjoying a 20-point margin.
Yeah, 5 goals that quarter to the Crows 2. So just a nasty little break now.
Tonight's weather update brought to you by...
Thanks, Mum.
Hello, our forecast is for a partly cloudy but fine day with a chance of an isolated shower in the northeast. On local waters, northeast winds of 7 to 12 knots with seas up to ½ a metre. In the city, we can expect a top of 28 degrees with an overnight low of 13. And looking ahead, fine and partly cloudy for Monday and Tuesday with a late change expected on Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow night. Good night.
Leather seats. The luxurious Mitsubishi Verada. Nothing overlooked. Mitsubishi.
Welcome to the Bridgeway Hotel. Coolabah Pass. $9.99. BB 30 pack.
$29.99.
Queen Adelaide range.
$5.99.
Angus Brooks, $7.99 each. Or $84 a carton plus a free Magnum.
Bacardi, $24.99. I didn't look at the camera.
If you like to sip and you want to save, you can't go past your local Sip and Save.
Now there's a more convenient way to bank. Bank while you shop. Hop into any Woolworths or Big W and ask for Woolworths Easy Banking. It's just a better way.
Need help finding the best value insurance? Well, if you insure your car for private use, and either your home or home contents with SGIC, we'll give you a 10% discount on each policy, and you can pay your premiums monthly. Just call SGIC on 133 233.
For free, confidential and practical information on how to get your business started with the GST, simply call GST Assist on 133088 and get started today. Authorised by the Commonwealth Government, Canberra.
office stationery,
Coffee paper.
pens,
Computer accessories.
postbag,
Envelopes. Prepaid.
express post,
Parcel post.
free delivery,
My Business Centre.
Australia Post. Catalogue out now.
Repco's big league legends are sticking the boot into prices. Motortech 400-gram WD degreaser glass and upholstery cleaner aerosols just $1.99 each. Ryco, Australia's biggest range of filters, oil filters from just $5.75. Castrol GTX2 5.5 litre bonus pack just $15.95. Nava Halogen Plus 30 globes from $13.95. Legendary brands at legendary prices at all Repco stores. Legendary brands at legendary prices at all Repco stores.
Three-quarter time here at the Gabba. A good quarter for the Brisbane Lions, although kicking for goals still letting them down a little bit. A bit at 5 goals for in that term. 13-17 at 95. Adelaide 11-9-75. So the margin at three-quarter time is 20 points. We've tried, Matthew Campbell and I, in recent times, and name a game to get the 1976 clash, North Melbourne v Carlton.
Sold out.
You ring up and say, no, sorry, apparently the Blight household's got it. So any other game you want, you can most certainly get in name a game. That was, by the way, a magnificent kick, 80 metres. 1-800-090, sorry. 1-800-035-665. Seriously, folks, for name a game. Any game you want to see, it can be yours. So go book that number once again, 1-800-035-665. Three-quarter time, Malcolm. 20 points the margin. Not an insurmountable margin, but certainly one of great nuisance value.
Yes, indeed. It's a tricky margin to lead by and to also chase. A couple of goals either way here, and the game just can either splatter out or come together. Splatter. That's a coaching term for you're in trouble.
Yeah. Well, just about set to go. The final quarter here at the Gabba. Alistair Lynch, you saw there, has 4 goals. All in the first half. He probably should have had 8 so far in the game. First goal just so important. Sigalala gets it down towards half forward. Jarman sends it high in towards the true half forward position. Is that a mark? It is a mark. And this is a big kick because Binky's picked himself up from the bottom of the pack and is going to have a shot. Set shots have not been good value tonight, but let's see what he can do this time. And this would be a dream start once again for the Adelaide Crows. They got a good start in the third quarter with the first goal, and Brisbane ran over them a little. But this could really set them up. Kicking from 50 metres. It's away to the right. It's sadly away to the right.
Well, I must say that he is a wonderful kick for goal, that lad. He's kicked 1 goal 4 tonight, and some of those have been set shots. I mean, they've only kicked 11 goals, 10, but the goal kicking has been poor. 30 effective scoring shots to 21, so almost a third the difference. And the momentum that the Crows could have got from that. Yeah. You know, just that relief of, gee, we've got a goal first after the break. And
McRae takes a juggler, and he'd be happy with that. He'll look towards his captain. He doesn't let him down. Just a lovely player to watch, isn't he, Michael Voss? Inside 50. Lynch tried to slap it clear. Malloy could have been held. Ackermanis got a call from out the back, but who was it from? Edwards. Clears back towards the centre. Bickley, look out, you're gone! Quickly got it away to Costa, who turns it over now. Biglands gives it away towards Rashudo. He looks towards the forward line. Needs a mark in the pocket. 1, 2 grabs. It's not going to be there. The boundary line is required by Brisbane, and it is fouled. Throw it in.
Gee, having watched that play up the ground then, I mean, Welsh did the right thing and led. Rashudo's tried to honour the lead, which is fine, but you wouldn't believe the huge gap that left in the goal square. I mean, there was no one, and just that summation, and so honour the teammates' lead and not kick at the goal. That would have run through that kick. He was long enough, 50 odd out.
Oh, that's easy for him, distance-wise.
Yeah.
Wren taps it forward. Lepich getting there first, handballing out to Martin. He has time as Ashcroft was standing next to him. He kicks it high. Getting underneath it was Headland. Voss again.
Just wanted it.
Good one. Outstanding, Voss. Here's Hart. They're away now, the Crows. Byrne, centre half forward, Wren the target. Falls over the back. Who's there for the Crows? Coming in late is Scott for the Lions. Goes back to that outer side. He's got a player on his own, and that is Mickey Martin. He's had plenty of the ball tonight, Mick Martin. This will be kick number 19. Goes up forward looking for Lynch. He's outside the 50 for the first time. He's been playing close to goal. McRae, the crummer, just tapping it forward. So the Lions have got Malloy one out inside the 50. Now Lynch playing around the 50.
Yeah, interesting that Byrne running through the middle, then that kick the centre half forward. Mark Stevens made a great lead. I mean, if you go in with a predetermined plan to only ever kick long, you don't see that. So I think sometimes they've probably overdone that with the long kick. There's got to be a balance in general play. Under pressure, I reckon, is fine.
White punching it forward.
Like that one, that's fine.
It's up in the air.
Yeah, let's get it going.
Pushing it forward, pushing it the way of the Crows. Headland bumped off the ball almost there by Stevens. Going to ground. Umpire McInerney not deciding on a free kick there. He'll ball it up. It's in the centre of the ground. The margin has only changed by 1 point since three-quarter time.
Desi Headland, #1 draft pick a couple of years ago. He's just been brought forward gently, having his 4th game. McDonald wins it, but they can't take it away. Goes to the outer side where Huskus leads in the race. He leads Stevens. Stevens persists, however. Martin taken to the line. Throw in on centre wing. The first goal of the final quarter, proving a little elusive for both sides. Throw in. McDonald, front spot. Flicked out towards Costa. He's had plenty of the footy. Robran has also done pretty well. Straightens up. Lepic is in front. Got a fist to it. Pushed down in front once again. Lappin is lurking there. Oh, he did it beautifully. Did it beautifully. And he's set it up across half forward. They can go now. Martin can go on with it. And he does. The lead is on from Malloy. He slipped. And this surface in a certain couple of areas could be posing problems. We've got another throw in. Malloy is frustrated.
He does show his emotion very quickly, doesn't he?
Wears the old heart on the sleeve, and that gentleman does too.
It's not all he wears on his sleeve.
No, what's he got on his head?
What's he got on his feet?
Throw in. Vital time now. McDonald and Robran. The Lions looking to take advantage while they've got the ball in this area. McDonald couldn't pluck it out of the air. Ashcroft takes a couple on. Almost gets buried. Rashudo asks the question in vain. Another bounce.
It's quality finish from here. A side that can actually finish and gets composure. A bit like that Lappin did at the other end just a few moments ago. Just need some composure. The senior players really need to stand up now.
Ackermanis around the body. Where's McRae? Almost got to the front. Nigel Smart's been pretty quiet. Puts it out in the wide open spaces. The race is on. There are a few boys that are still pretty quick. Lawrence is one of them. Gives it away to White. White will just chip in towards the centre. He's so full, and this allows Black time to go back.
Smart was clear and didn't show composure. Darryl White did.
Headland flew a little early. Socket away from him. McRae in trouble. Oh, did it well. Headland from a standing start. He pumps it high. In towards half forward again. Up goes the big fist. Pressure now on this Crows defence. Is it going to crack? Another bounce. Still inside 50. 19 points the margin. 15 minutes remaining.
Mark Stevens having a spell. It's inside the Lions 50 once again. And they're searching for some clean ball.
28 players around the ball.
Yep. Again, Hart slamming it forward. No one there for the Lions. Rashudo lost it. Tap ball by the boss. You don't see that very often. He's run straight over it. And luckily for the Lions.
Sorry, mate. One of the problems again, of course, he had 3 Crows players with him. I mean, I think he sensed that.
Yep.
And it is very difficult to get a kick in that. I mean, he's been terrific, isn't he?
22 possessions. Efficiency rate of 100.
Yeah, I just love watching him play.
There's probably 25,000 people here at the Gabba that would agree with you. As Hart hooks it around the body. Tough one for anyone to mark. Here's a chance. He's kicked the goal.
Sunday.
What's wrong with the mouse?
It's very, very fat.
Come on, Monty. Don't be embarrassed.
It's Mission Impossible.
He's nearly twice the size of the other mouse.
Will Monty self-destruct?
It's just rolls of fat all around the neck.
Harry's Practice, Sunday on 7. Then at 7 o'clock,
Sunday on Popstars.
I'm very scared.
it's their first ever live performance.
We're ready for anything. Bring them on.
But they weren't ready for this.
Belinda's had to go home sick.
Can they make it live on stage?
Popstars, Sunday at 7.
What a goal for Bo McDonald. The young man, just 20 years of age from Swan Districts, learning this game pretty smartly. That's going to make it very tough for the Crows now. Look at that tackle. Spills free to Jarman. Jarman gives it away once again. They're not out of it yet as Hart sends them forward. They need a quick mark from Welch. He's not in front. The ball spilled now down in front. An opportunity for Bassett. Just away to the left. On behind.
Nathan Bassett had a year at Nord in the SANFL and actually kicked a lot of goals at full forward. Tended to use him as a full back. He hasn't had a great night tonight, but he can mark it when put up forward.
Lepage. Straight towards the middle of the ground. Ackermanis is at the back. Ackermanis is going. He'd dearly love to celebrate his 100. It's an ugly left foot punt kick in towards full forward. Smart is the spoiler. Waiting down was Malloy. Had a crack at it. Lost it. Hard. Ripped to the ground. They pounce on him like pancakes on a plate. And there'll be a bounce. Kicked a couple of telling goals in the third quarter, Sean Hart. Danger zone once again as far as the Crows are concerned. Acker! Sailing over the boats, proceed!
Get the best in finance. Market fresh in money every Monday. Your family, your friends, your relationships. Freshly squeezed in lifestyle on Tuesday. Reviews, launches and cars for sale. It's a mixed grill in motoring each Thursday. Plus all the latest local news and world news. Fresh every day. The Advertiser. Fresh daily.
Jason Ackermanis celebrating his 100th game with his first goal, and as we saw last year, Sandy, we may see some celebrations after the match by Jason.
Watch out for cartwheel, eh?
Yep, it's become very important as we're back in the centre. McDonald taps it forward, but it falls now to Lappin. He can sometimes, when he's on, he's untouchable. Long kick, Voss in the box seat, good punch from Edwards. It spills forward, like the running player, Bickley, and once again we have a Crow player deciding at the top of the square. We'll take the rush behind first.
Is that the latest thing now, is it?
Well, I think what would have happened before, you'd actually try and head towards the boundary line or handball over the line. Now they're pinging that, so you've actually got to do something slightly different.
So you kick it 4 degrees to the right, you don't get pinged.
Exactly.
Lions by 31 points. The long kick in. Social Club side. It falls to Rashudo. He bangs it on his foot, sends it forward towards Bassett. White with the punch. The punching from White at one end and Edwards from the other. It's been disciplined all night. Sikalella now for the Crows.
Smother.
White got there late. Robrin. Good hands. Sikalella gets a second chance. Goes to the 50. Up forward to Welsh. He should get it. Lepage did enough. Now he looked for the boundary. And he's done enough to get it not just to the boundary, but also to force it outside his defensive 50. And he gets the generous and warm applause from this Brisbane crowd.
You'd have to say that was a big play.
Well, considering that every time the Adelaide Crows now go deep into their attack, they need to score.
Well, they've got a chance now, but it's pushed away from their scoring zone. Costa leads in the race, but he's under the pump. He's eventually taken out of it. And it's just kept in play as far as Black is concerned, only to Wren. Flicks it back, and clean bowls Scott. But again, he's an elusive man, is Mr. Lappin. He finds McRae on centre wing, the former boy from the Bay. Kicks up towards left half forward. Hart leaves it for Smart. He eventually picks it up. Belts it clear, but White is there once again with a disciplined punch. Slaps it down in front. Waiting there is Costa. Kicks clear up towards half-forward. Robran can't take the mark. Lawrence was waiting down in front, but he was bundled out of it. They pounce over the top. Robran gets another opportunity. Thinks about going all the way. Then kicks out to a one-on-one situation. Lepic sees it over the back and is happy for one behind to go on the board. .11 and a half minutes remaining. There is time, but they've got to get a wriggle in.
What a wonderful game, Darryl.
He's been sensational. Discipline.
Yeah.
It's been one of the keys to his game tonight.
Not loose, you know. Just punch when he had to and run off.
He's found his mark at centre-half back.
Yeah.
Ashcroft. Pinpoint accuracy to McRae.
And for the stats experts, he's only had a dozen touches, but
he's been good all year without getting lots of possessions.
Yeah. Lynch is going to be tested here.
I mean, it's interesting, that isn't it? I mean, you can actually do your job and contribute in this game. It's one of the great things about it. You can be 5'5" or 6'9" and still actually play your role. And at centre-half back, he's really stopped them there, hasn't he? I know he's had a bit of help with the ruckman and all that, but just been telling.
Throw in again on centre wing. Black around the bottom. To full forward. Voss. You would have almost expected him to take that against Edwards, who just slaps it to the line. We've got another throw in.
Sean Rennie in ruck 2 at the moment, Sandy, and
really, stats have never been everything since Robert Comp won a television set so many years ago. I think it was no kicks, one hand pass, and he's won the colour TV. I hope it's still going well for you, Clompy, if you're watching. Wren ducked his old head a little bit. Finally gives it away to his teammate, who kicks it up towards centre wing. Costa's given away a free. It was a little too harsh on McRae. You get the feeling they get one here. You can just about end it all. McLeod's hand pass was effective. Bigland's back towards centre wing once again. Binky was a target. He's going to go again, Binky. Little toe poke for Sikalella. It's okay. Needs someone running with him, and he's got Stengline. Centering in towards half-forward, but there he is once more. Cool and calm is Darryl White. They peel off the outer side. Johnson is one of them, and the Lions will go forward again.
He's got Lawrence running hard from centre-half back for him. He gets there, but Ben Hart had read it beautifully. He ran hard just to get to the contest himself. Mick Martin, not one of his best kicks. Out on the full. It actually virtually went over his head off the outside of his boot, and it'll be Byrne to kick in for the Crows. Still half of this last quarter remaining. Still time. They must start kicking goals, the Crows. One man that can do it is Jarman. He's gone to ground. Huskus wraps him up. It'll be a ball up inside the Adelaide Crows forward 50. The Lions have led at every change. Darren Jarman, who has 3 goals this evening. Ball up. Good knock by Clark to Rashudo. Spins around, bangs it from 45. Just what Adelaide need, and he's got it. The Crows are still in it.
Oh dear, that's an awful centre bounce. Oh, how about that for a shocking pass? That's a blatant in the back. Oh no, he's hit the post. At the end of the day, there's only one in the game that can be best and fairest. Find out why RAA Insurance is South Australia's #1 car insurer by calling 8202 4567 today.
Still a faint hope with Mark Rashudo's second goal. Wren onto the ball, but beaten. Costa, however, will take it out of the centre, and he does so as he gives it away to Goodwin, who looks long in towards the forward pocket region. Oh, Lepic got a hell of a bounce. Welch couldn't take advantage of it, and it's socket off the ground. Don't tell me that's a miraculous goal. They're not out of this yet. That was unbelievable from Matthew Robran. Take me through that again, Malcolm.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it? Simon Goodwin's kick really did miss everything, didn't it? Went the wrong way and got a horrible bounce. Huskus didn't quite know what to do. He would have taken it over the line, and then well, I've heard someone call it a toe poke, but I suppose that's what it really is, isn't it? I thought it was a soccer of the ball, but Matthew Robran kicks a goal.
Unbelievable. You want a miracle?
Well, I mean, when it's done, 2 quick goals like that. Now,
Hey,
one
not
more.
out of it yet, don't worry.
Yeah.
Rashudo could have almost picked up a free kick from the centre there. He's at the bottom of there, gasping for air. Suddenly, we've got an 18-point margin after it looked like a relatively simple stroll home with a 30-point break. Vital here. Let's see what happens. Still got 8 3/4 minutes remaining. McDonald down towards Ashcroft. Gets a hurried kick down towards the 50. Next play is huge. Going past is Martin, and a throw in. Wanting to get rid of it in lightning fashion. He did the quickest way he knew, and that was by throwing it so hard. Might make him pay. Kicks down towards half forward. The mark was dropped, but the Cruisers in control. Jarman does it beautifully. Welsh now is going to have a set shot, and this to make it just a couple of points. Adelaide can win this game. Don't worry about that.
It's amazing, isn't it? We talked earlier about, you know, some of the older heads just doing it calming. Lappin's been terrific, I reckon, this last quarter when he's got it. And just shows you there at Jarman. Just didn't panic with the footy. And all of a sudden, Welsh is wrong-footed. Lappin's beautifully.
Big kick this one. 18 points the margin. This to make it 12. He's kicking from 40 metres. It's a drop punt. It looks pretty good. He might have just missed, has he? Just missed. Oh, dear.
Momentum.
Yep.
We say a lot, don't we? It's all about momentum.
I just think that one of the things that good teams, they put that aside, in all fairness. You know, you kick a point, okay, you kick a point. Well, you didn't mean to kick a point. So...
zone up and get back on it. Punch it back and get a player free.
But you only need one player to think that was bad.
And then your zone's broken.
Yeah.
Well, Brisbane have worked it towards a defensive 50. It's with Ashcroft. Not many options for him. Leppich provides one. He'll need one further afield. Black running hard, but Costa's running with him. So the Lions, warning signs here because there's no movement for them. And it's a possession game. Ashcroft has broken it up. Now decides to run. Looking for Big McDonald. That's a good mark. He's growing in stature, young bloke. Now wheels around, kicking towards a fairly congested forward 50. It should suit Adelaide. Lynch and Biglands, and Lynch takes another strong mark. Well, dare I say it, Malcolm, but it's all about momentum, and it can swing, and a kick like this is all Brisbane need. He's kicked 4 goals for and 1 out in the full. He's going to kick from a range that I'm happy with him. Is it coming back? No, it's not. Or is it? It is.
All this lifetime health cover. I mean, where are you supposed to start? I mean, I know we're going to need hospital, dentist, glasses, all that sort of thing. I'm just wanting to do the right thing for the kids, you know?
Me? I got a package deal.
Yeah, but that'd cost a bit, wouldn't it?
No, it's pretty good. You might get a nice surprise.
How come you know all this?
Just spoke to the right people, I guess.
I feel better now.
So the Crows picking up a behind, and then the ball transferred to the other end, and the Lions pick up a goal. It can hurt, no question of that. McDonald out of the middle. A push has been deemed, and Martin will take the free kick in the centre. He's done it pretty well for the Brisbane Lions. This former Bulldog goes up towards Lynch again. He used the body. And again, Matthew Campbell puts his hands over his eyes and hopes.
Yes, it's keeping your eye on the footy.
Were you looking at a couple of little nudges there, Malcolm, in that replay?
Yeah, there were a couple off the ball.
Lynch just checking the mark.
Now the expert on Alistair Lynch's kicking, Matthew Campbell.
I reckon you pull it left.
Okay.
I've opened myself up for ridicule here, haven't I?
This for number 6. Slightly to the left.
Yeah.
It's Matty.
Now, it's Lee Matthews that asked you about being goal-kicking coach for Alistair Lynch?
No,
16-19.
Wouldn't do anything so stupid, Malcolm.
Yeah.
Edwards brings it back into play. Settle down, boys. Down towards Bickley. Oh, he goes on with it very quickly. Almost caught Stingline napping. Now Nigel Smart. Bang! You run into a D9, you're in trouble. And that's exactly what happened. Malloy gets it. Lynch again. Watch the use of the body. Biglands did well, and he gets claimed. He's appeared to have dropped that ball over the line. There will be a throw-in. 1:15 plays 91.
Interesting, Brett Biglands plays in the ruckman for West Torrens, and here he is playing a key defensive role. So, I mean, you learn pretty quickly when you're on the list in footy now, don't you?
Certainly do. Here's McDonald again with the left arm. Edwards through some traffic. Quick throws it on the boot. Black in the box seat. Costa did well there. Black recovers well from just outside the 50. Centering ball. Looking for some strength up forward. Coming through well was Hart. Lappin caught. Good tackle, Hart. Great recovery. Johnson can't. McLeod can. And he's going to try and find the boundary. No, he's got Costa. Costa takes a bounce. Loses it. Now gains 50 metres with the ball to the wing. Shattuck the punch for the Lions and sends it over the boundary right in front of our commentary position as Brian Benke thinks about it and then wanders off towards the forward line. And it's Brisbane by 24.
Yeah, just 3 or 4 minutes remaining. On centre wing. 91 plays 115. McDonald now simply going through the motions for the Brisbane Lions. He'd be more than happy to just knock it forward. There was certainly some concern in the Matthews coaching camp last week after their long road haul came to an end with only one win. Ackermanis up towards the 50. McLeod of fresh air. Lappin. It's like a piece of elastic, isn't he? So elusive. Stretches it in towards Malloy. Went a little early. Edwards caught. Beautifully tackled. Johnson tried to soccer off the ground. Shot out towards Costa. Now they're clear once again. McLeod sweeps the hand pass in towards the middle. Cicalella takes it away from Goodwin up towards half forward. White again forced to defend. Rodman waiting down. White goes again. Oh, that's clever. On to the left boot. Ackermanis gave him a yell out towards centre wing. And the 100 gamer's got it. He'll be happy with the victory tonight. He goes wide to his captain on the outer side in front of the Social Club. He hugs the boundary line towards Alistair Lynch. Lappin is at the back, but he won't get there in time. McLeod on the last line. Comes back towards Nigel Smart at half-back. Running off is Hart. What's he got downfield, though? Has to transfer play in towards the centre. And that's an excellent mark taken by Scott. Chris Scott, smack bang in the middle of the gabba, can come wide to Malloy if he wants to. And, in fact, does. Just to say, take it easy, Jared. 2 minutes 50 remaining. Lynch, Biglands, Lynch. Johnson the rover. This will test him. Johnson in towards full forward. No mark taken. And another behind as it comes off hands.
Interesting, Sandy. 6 rush behinds for the Brisbane team in their score of 16-20. And the Crows only had a couple rush, so yeah, there's been a bit of that tonight.
Yep, Goodwin to the outer side. That's an excellent mark by Huskus. Good one take. Adam Huskus. 13 possessions for him tonight. Back pedals a little to Ashcroft. And back again. So the Crows continue to look for their first win of the season. As coach at Norton 5, what do you start thinking about, Malcolm?
Ooh.
Come on, you're the man.
Well, I think that as McRae gets it.
Could be a goal. This could be another one, and it is.
TV's biggest secret.
Which one's the mole?
Abby is just very clever.
Either Abby or Alan.
If it's not Abby, I think it's Jan.
I think Jan's the mole.
I think Alan's the mole.
Abby looks too likely to be the mole.
I think it's Alan.
I thought I knew who the mole was, but now I've got no idea.
Thursday at the new time of 8.
Now that's football news.
First with the real football issues.
Let's talk about this thing.
Now, 8 o'clock Thursday.
I'd not hate to be the materials at Christmas time. Phil's just take.
The Game on 7.
There's a look at Gary Ayres, and I'll repeat my question to you, Malcolm. If you were the coach in Norton 5, what do you start thinking about now?
Well, obviously, this was always going to be a hard one. Last week was terrible with the scoreline, but once again, they haven't been shellacked. They've been in the game, but just not quite finishing off as they should.
Yeah. Hawthorn next week.
Yep.
Edwards down towards the forward line. Jarman. He's good in this. He's very, very good. Darren Jarman pops through behind.
It's almost unevenness in the team, isn't it? You know, watching them live, but they're terrific for 5 minutes, but then for a couple of ragged minutes, it's just no consistency throughout the team or throughout the performance. And you know, that's not every player, but most players are in that same boat. There's no one really dominated any game that they've really played in.
Leppich had a couple of options open to him, and eventually goes to the outer side. Finishes with Martin. Goes up towards centre wing, and the security people streaming around the ground, causing a distraction. The McLeod hand pass is okay. Goes back towards left half forward and belted away from Brian Binky for another throw-in. He's certainly tried his heart out for the Crows. 12 possessions. It's been a bit of a live wire. Just his main problem is being off target. What he got, Malcolm? 1-4.
1-4.
So inside the final minute, Wren and McDonald again. Edwards over the top. The tackling has been pretty good tonight. Lawrence couldn't take it. Trying to slap it forward for Brisbane was Aaron Shattuck. They pounce on it once again. These Shattuck's a goer. Darryl White's locked up Burn. They're going nowhere. So the Crows have Hawthorn next week. Brisbane has St Kilda. A couple of interesting games there. Look at Lapham. Away he goes to Martin. Just a couple more possessions and the game is over. We've got a throw in on the outer wing. So the Lions, with their road run coming to an end, have returned home with a much-needed victory. The Crows will head back to South Australia and look towards Hawthorn next week. Ackermanis at the back. Watch him on the final siren, Jason Ackermanis. Good win for the Brisbane Lions. And Lee Matthews. 30 points, the eventual margin. They led at every change. 20 at three-quarter time. So let's check the final scores here at the Gabba. The Brisbane Lions, 17-20, 122. Adelaide, 13-14, 92.
7 Sport now takes you to the Wacker for the second half of your Saturday night doubleheader.
Around Australia, welcome along to the WACA ground in Perth for Saturday night football. Matthew Pavlich making his debut, his first kick, a goal. And that's the score. Fuster to Fletcher. Was he taken high, dragged down? This is Cook. Gets away from Rigoni, lays it off nicely. Black inside the 50. Pitches and runs on across the goal face. Longmuir and White. Longmuir stayed on his feet. Nicholson crashes in. Down goes Woe Roden. Brilliantly played. Credit to Powell, but we've got a whistle, and it's going to be a Docker free back close to goal.
I don't know whether he's giving a free kick there for throwing the ball, Dennis. We'll have to have another look, but so far, a pretty free-flowing game. Let's have another quick look at this. In the back?
Yeah, I would imagine in the back.
I don't know about that one.
If that's the case, that is a tough call.
Pretty hard done by, but pretty free-flowing game so far. Both sides
got plenty of runs, and seeing young Longmuir lining up.
Justin Longmuir kicks from about 35 metres out. Behind. So the margin 7 points now.
Should be an interesting game because both are very good running sides, Dennis. Just depends on who used the ball. Fremantle have been a little bit ineffective with their kicking, had quite a few turnovers. So they can control that a bit better tonight. Oh, speaking of turnovers.
Stephen Phoebe pretending he's Matthew at the moment. And Callahan's got the footy deep in the pocket.
Yes, it would help being a twin brother in cases like that, wouldn't it?
The only trouble is he's not playing. If you're watching Matthew, we know it was Stephen. Callahan in short, McManus.
Now, that's good play, Dennis, by Callahan there. Just opening it up a little bit. He was on his left foot in the wrong side for a left foot to be kicking for the goals. Bad picking up there by the Melbourne players. You can just see McManus on the left of your screen had plenty of room to run into. And you really need to be a little bit closer than that when you're marking players.
McManus inspirational early last week against the Tigers. The captain may have missed, and he has. So the margin now is out to 8 points. Just over 15 minutes remaining till quarter time. Adrian Fletcher won the toss. Doc is going left to right. Balmy night in Perth. Not a sellout crowd, but a good one. Both these sides looking to move to 3 and 2 and make their presence felt. Phoebe going for distance this time, not surprisingly. Neitz was up, couldn't complete the mark. Waiting down in front, Walsh. Leon Shelley breaks away, running it up towards the wing. Looping hand pass over the top. Releases White, that's ambitious, in trouble. Fletcher got him, play on's the call. Around the outer side, Walsh backed up. Forward of the wing, chipping it towards half forward. Poor kick. Longmuir's in the road, taken down, but not before he got the hand pass away. Parker had it knocked away. This is Uze. Uze from right on the 50. Quality player, quality kick.
This is Dharma, and this is her dad.
You got a copying machine? Right over there. What are you doing? Get off of there! I just need a couple of pictures to paste in my neighbor's window. Take a picture, it'll last longer.
Dharma and Greg, Sunday.
Then at 8 o'clock.
When are you going to teach us how to unhook a bra?
In an hour-long Third Rock.
We're not learning that.
Okay, well, all this stuff is very interesting, but I'm not going to get to any of it if I can't unhook a bra.
Sally has problems in the bedroom.
She snores like a pig.
Third Rock, Sunday.
Margin 2 points then, early going from the whacker. Another very good bounce. Hangs in the air a long time. Longmuir slapped it down. Woden hurriedly onto the boot. Melbourne coming forward, looking for the lead right here. It bounces down towards the pocket. Out comes Farmer, pushed in the side towards the boundary line. Got him off balance. Out of bounds.
And then the Fremantle bench for you. Anthony Jones, the favourite son, back in the team. Brad Dodd, Jess Sinclair, and Mark Gale. And Fremantle wearing white shorts because that's the rules now. The AFL tells them which shorts to wear. Normally that's their away strip.
Jonesy down on the boundary, wide-eyed, waiting to get his chance. Off the ball, Parker is getting free, and as a result, Farmer grabbed him, and that was enough to get Parker the free kick.
Speaking of free kicks against, Jeff Farmer leads the league with 12, so he does give a few away, does the Wizard.
So Parker deep in defence. Drives it high out towards the wing. Longmuir camped in front, off hands. Well played by Farmer, or was it White? White slapped it back. It was taken there by McManus. Woden goes back, couldn't complete the mark. He's a centre-half back, Shane Woden. Swings it out wide into the path of McDonald. And he's got the run of it up towards the wing. Plenty of time. Little chip down towards half forward. And Giggett came on the lead. Plays on from about 75 metres out. High kick. Over the top, McManus got a fist on it. Picked up by Farmer, dragged down. Longmuir got him, affected the kick. Out of bounds on the full. Parker wasting no time. Walker, opposite pocket to McManus. McManus driving it towards the wing, but ill-directed. Woden getting so much of the ball this season. In the midst of it again to Powell. Fine pick-up for them. Powell. Three-quarter distance kick inside the 50. Bandy sensing the danger, came over on the angle. Walker somehow got the ball out. Bandy in trouble, dragged down. Close to the boundary line. Schwartz keeps it in. Confronted by Fletcher on the bounce to Powell. Bad luck, slipped over, gets to his feet, snaps towards goal. Going back, touched, I think, on the line by Parker.
Pretty quick pace here at the moment. And good work by Parker, just pushing off Jeff Farmer to see that ball over the line. And persisting with these short kick-ins from full-back, the Dockers.
This is Troy Cook, coming off 25 possessions last week, 10 of them in the opening term. It was a live wire to Hazelby. As we said in the opener, by his standards, already lofty, quiet last week. Driven around the outer side, Sinclair missed out there by Bandy. Farmer over the ball, kick it, put the body in. Robertson's got him, kick it, can't control it. Well played by Robertson. Eventually lost it though to Hazelby. Hazelby hard against the line, pulls it back towards the wing. Callahan completely misjudged it. Walsh fumbles. Callahan anxious to make amends, brilliantly done. Releases Prescott, running down towards the 50. He tugs it back towards the middle. In front, Pavlich. Well, he's had one kick for a goal. His second kick is coming up. How's this for a start to an AFL career? Matthew Pavlich, and this is a very strong grab.
Well, what a great opening few minutes for the young fella. As I mentioned in the pre-game summary, he's come across with big raps. He was their big draft recruits along with Hazelby and Brown. He's been the last one to make his debut out of the three-star trio. And so far, he's living up to all his reputation.
Matthew Pavlich right behind him here. He's got two.
At this price, we can only hold it till 3, Mrs. Harris.
No, I'll be there, thanks.
Okay.
Go for it, Liz. Yeah, I'll drop the kids round later. You're a pal.
Yes, we can move your appointment, Mrs. Harris.
Oh, good.
Because you make a lot of them, Telstra have introduced the 15-cent neighbourhood call.
Jane, you won't believe how much I saved today.
Numbers sharing the same exchange as yours are a neighbourhood call. Find your phone number prefix in the back of the White Pages directory.
It's beautiful.
Two kicks, two goals.
Paul Hayes will be starting out on a wing, Dennis. They're obviously giving him a break from the centre square.
So the youngsters, we said coming in, both clubs, with a vast array of young talent. White, looping hand pass. In trouble, Uzo. Did he have the ball? He was dragged down. Callahan to Fletcher, running down towards centre half forward. Little chip kick towards the pocket. Pavlich, can he make it? 3. Pavlich dragged down by Nicholson. The hand pass back towards the middle. Neitz picks it up, gets it to Phoebe. Phoebe dashes away from defence. Good kick too. Into space on the wing. Now a chance for the Demons. This is Powell. Touches it down the once.
Transmission, done. Air conditioning, done. Central locking electric windows and driver's airbag, done. Alloy wheels and CD player, done. And all from $39,990. Holy dolly, $39,990. You reckon I done that Nissan dealer or I done that Nissan dealer?
Done deals, done now. Only at your Nissan dealer.
Tonight, the no case likely to sink the push for a republic. A Victorian policeman dragged along by a car during a wild chase. And the Aussies snatch a win over the Kiwis in Rugby League's Tri-Series final.
With Chris Bath, this is 7 Nightly News.
Good evening. We'll also have reports on dozens of school children struck down by food poisoning, Australian businessmen hoping to make Dili a tourist destination, and a late Aussie fight back in the first test against Pakistan. But first to the Republic referendum, and decision day is almost upon us. The Republicans and monarchists will fight it out to the last. But according to the latest polling, the monarchists appear to be heading for a first-round win.
look, Kerry,
Deputy Presidents.
Kerry, please, you know, can you stop? Can you stop? I mean, it's all so extreme. I mean,
The frustration is showing for the Republicans, with the latest polls all indicating the yes case is headed for a loss. Today, a virtual concession of defeat from ARM head Malcolm Turnbull in his final debate with monarchist Kerry Jones.
This is where Kerry has absolutely played the direct election to stop a break. She's done very, very well because...
No sign of hope either from the Republican treasurer, Peter Costello.
My guts tell me no more than the polls.
But addressing a tourism conference, Mr Costello demonstrated if the Republicans do lose, they'll go down laughing.
Pussycat, pussycat, where have you been? I've been to Australia to see the Queen.
John Howard still says it's going to be tight, accusing his own deputy of game playing.
People say all sorts of tactical things on the eve of polls. He's an old campaigner.
But the AC Nielsen poll gives the monarchists good reason to be confident. To be successful, the referendum must win in at least 4 of the 6 states. Victoria appears to be the only place where the yes case is a chance of victory. Everywhere else on the mainland, the no vote is in front, with the margin tightest in New South Wales. Tasmania was not polled, but internal Republican research suggests the yes case may win there. With around 15% of Australians still undecided, the Electoral Commission is receiving 50,000 inquiries a day from confused voters. The wheels might be falling off the Republican bandwagon, but Kim Beazley was still on the campaign trail today in his home state of Perth.
That is a marvellous challenge. It is a marvellous opportunity, and it must not be foregone.
Mr Beazley's determination might be more than just bravado. Private polling for the Republicans shows a late swing back to the yes case, with the momentum running their way. But even the staunchest supporters of an Australian head of state concede it's doubtful they'll get over the line. Glenn Milne, 7 Nightly News.
And you can stay in touch with tomorrow's vote here on 7. There'll be referendum updates every half hour from 7:30 tomorrow night from 5 p.m. in Perth. Plus, we'll have a special edition of 7 Nightly News in Sydney and Melbourne at midnight, 11:30 p.m. in Adelaide. That's right before the Rugby World Cup final. Home loan interest rates have started the move upwards. 4 banks today lifted their rates by 0.25% in line with official rates. The Commonwealth, ANZ, National Australia Bank and St George all lifted their standard variable mortgage rate from 6.55% to 6.8%. And there's anger tonight over those rate rises being passed on, with our major banks again announcing profits worth billions of dollars. Customers are demanding they pass on some of the benefits.
It's been a billion-dollar week for our banks, record profits, but some customers say nothing for them. Outraged pensioners want a share of the spoils.
I'd like to sort them out and just say, well, for goodness sake, make pensioners and anyone on a low income exempt from all these fees that they keep tacking onto it.
The Commonwealth made $1.4 billion, $1.45 billion for Westpac, ANZ Bank $1.48 billion, and the NAB a whopping $2.8 billion profit, the biggest in Australian banking history. Half of that came from overseas. Analysts say roughly $600 million was made from loans, mortgages, banking fees and credit card lending. Farmers spokesman Barry Court says banks are profiting while many on the land face losing their livelihoods.
Record profits in closed branches right throughout the state. You know, we've had to start up a branch of the bank in Coolin. They've fought and got their own bank going at long last, and this is going to happen throughout the state.
Do we really want a situation where banks are actually losing money? I mean, that was the cause of the Asian crisis. Do we really want to go down to a street where our financial institutions are not secure?
Gemma Tognini, 7 Nightly News.
And we'll check the day's other finance figures a little later in this bulletin. A Victorian policeman's been dragged along the road by a car during a wild chase. Amazingly, he wasn't badly hurt. 4 men and a woman have been charged over the pursuit, caught on camera by the police helicopter.
Police seized their moment to make an arrest as the stolen car stopped at a red light. But what happened next was unbelievable.
They're out and they got him. Right. There's a guy hanging out the window.
The Frankston sergeant was dragged for more than 300 metres as the Fairmont sped along the Pean Highway.
We got him.
He was allegedly punched and kicked by the passengers before tumbling onto the highway.
While we're in pursuit of the Ford southbound to Pean Highway.
Police began following the Ford on the outskirts of Frankston and called in other units when they confirmed it had been stolen from Aspendale a short time earlier.
Yeah, 401 south past the BP survey.
As the car approached Tower Road in Mount Eliza, it took a sharp left-hand turn.
He's turning left.
Tower Road, left-hand turn.
The chase over moments later.
Okay, they're staying with the car by the looks of it. 413 marked units there now.
The stolen sedan was impounded at Frankston Police Station as the driver and two of his passengers sat in the nearby cells. Two other backseat passengers were this morning bailed by police, while two men and a woman made a brief appearance in the Frankston Magistrates Court. They were remanded in custody until next Wednesday. Peter Morris, 7 Nightly News.
Two Spaniards posing as an American TV crew here for the Olympics have been charged with smuggling up to 20 kilograms of cocaine. The drug was found hidden in camera batteries at Sydney Airport. A Colombian man was also charged.
Almost 20 kilograms of the high-grade cocaine was expertly concealed in these battery belts. Inside the 12 compartments, the drug, tightly compressed in the middle of each battery, the estimated street value between $3 and $5.5 million.
The two men, in fact, passed themselves off to customs as being NBC cameramen, and they said that they were doing work in relation to the Sydney Olympics.
The two men arrived in Sydney from Amsterdam. Customs officers alerted when shown these fake media passes.
This is very definitely a warning for any individual that attempts to breach the border requirements of Australia.
Traces of drugs were illegally detected on the men's bags and a large metal camera case. Customs used a special scanner to identify the substance as cocaine. Both police and customs say the importation was a sophisticated operation. The cocaine so expertly concealed, it'll take federal agents at least a week to collect all the drugs from hidden compartments. Police arrested a third man after he was lured to a Sydney hotel, allegedly to pick up the drugs. The three men have appeared in court. They face up to 25 years in jail. Megan Miller, 7 Nightly News.
Dozens of school children and teachers have been struck down by a bad bout of food poisoning at a Cairns school. They were rushed to hospital and doctors' surgeries past a source from a local restaurant the suspected cause.
The suburban doctor's surgery across the road from the Trinity Anglican School in South Cairns was inundated around 3 o'clock today as dozens of students came down with chronic food poisoning.
At this time we've got an MCI food poisoning, at this time 7 patients. 2 have already gone in another ambulance. We've got 5 in here. We've got a medical team coming out. They're all paediatric teenage child patients at this time.
The students had eaten a bad batch of pasta supplied by a local restaurant as part of a school business class. At least 9 teenagers and 1 adult had to be rushed to Cairns Base Hospital, suffering terrible abdominal pains. It's thought as many as 40 others could come down with food poisoning in the next few hours.
Yeah, I was just wondering what the hell's going on. Yeah.
Police and fire brigade units were called to the surgery to help ambulance crews sort the worst cases from the build-up of casualties. Health authorities will launch a full investigation into just what went wrong. In Cairns, Murray McCloskey, 7 Nightly News.
It's bad enough when you or I misplace our keys, but it's even worse for a Melbourne prison that's lost a set that can unlock almost every door in the jail. The embarrassing mistake sparked fears of a breakout at the maximum security Port Phillip prison. Managers insist the keys have simply been mislaid. If they aren't found, 600 locks will have to be changed. Next in 7's Late News, Aussie entrepreneurs hoping to make Dili the new Bali. Also, the Russian onslaught pounding Chechen rebels. And why our kids are getting fatter despite eating less.
Caught on camera. These thieves robbed 3 stores in 3 days.
So have a quick look around to see who's watching.
Well organised and fast. But now you could help catch them before they strike again. Watch 7 Nightly News Monday.
Elvis, the concert, the power of the music, the voice of a legend. Elvis, the concert, the album. The rock and roll event of a lifetime is now available on a 2 CD set. 33 all-time classics. Elvis, the concert.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I went to my Nissan dealer and said, I'm done with looking around and I want a deal. He said, done. I said, I want a Pulsar Plus. He said, done. A manual? He said, done. I said, I wasn't done yet. I wanted air conditioning? Done. CD player? Done. Airbag? Done. Remote central locking? Done. Alloy wheels? Done. And a rear spoiler? Done. I said, okay, what's the deal? He said, 19,990. I said, 19,990. He said, 19,990. I said, done. So there you go. I done a deal and I done a Nissan dealer.
Done deals. Done now. Only at your Nissan dealer.
And John Landy has broken the 4-minute mile.
Margaret in straight sets. She was also honoured as Australian of the Year.
They're about to cross the line. Australia 2 has done it.
Fantastic result for the young Australian. 5 world championships in a row.
Australia's best keep getting better. Like all our sporting heroes, Bonaire Fresh Air Conditioning keeps getting better.
The switch is on to Radio Rentals. Spring cleaning always means loads of laundry. Washers, dryers and complete packages are great buys right now at Radio Rentals. With dollar rental or interest-free payment plans, all you need to do is choose which brand and model suits your needs. Radio Rentals deliver, install and can even service your appliances. It's no wonder the switch is on to Radio Rentals. Radio Rentals, they know their stuff.
Kennards makes your job easy.
For the latest in access equipment, Kennards have it all. From step and extension ladders to mobile scaffold, or mechanical lifts like our man lifts to 7.7 metres. Self-drive scissor lifts and trailer-mounted cherry pickers that all meet the highest safety standards. Kennards are open a full 7 days and there's a hire centre near you.
Kennards makes your job easy.
On Today Tonight, the investment race and making thousands.
You're still in there with a chance.
The kids, the couple, the gambler and the millionaire. Plus Adelaide beauties, all painted up to help others. 6:30 Monday.
Police in Perth say they've received dozens of calls from all over Australia after reopening a 20-year-old murder investigation. Detectives believe a serial killer may be responsible for the deaths of 4 young women south of Perth. The mother of murder victim Annette Deverell has welcomed the latest development.
I'm relieved that it's reopened, at least with my kids, to the killer of my daughter Annette, and be all solved once and for all.
Police say they hope someone will come forward with vital information about the murders. New research shows Aussie kids are putting on more weight, even though they're eating less. The reason is they don't get enough exercise, and today a move to change that.
Running around and playing ball are good for you. The problem is, not many kids are doing it. A steady diet of computer games and TV are to blame, not to mention sport. Participation rates are at an all-time low, and the only exercise most kids ever did is disappearing.
We have at the moment the culture of driving children to school and picking them up because it's not safe.
1 in 5 kids is seriously overweight. 80% of fat kids become fat adults, with the increased risks of diabetes, high blood pressure and arthritis. One of Australia's greatest athletes, Paralympian Louise Savage, who won 8 gold medals, says sport is for everyone.
It does concern me a lot. It's kind of sad to see a lot of children not really participating in sport.
Today, Louise launched a charter of physical activity and sport aimed at getting kids back on the sports field.
It addresses the fundamental right of every child, whether they're able-bodied or disabled or have a chronic illness, to have access to physical activity.
Get out there, have some fun.
Dr. John Darcy, 7 Nightly News.
The Navy has been sent to intercept another boat off our northwest coast tonight in the same area where a record 350 illegal immigrants were seized on Monday. That Indonesian ferry has now been towed from Western Australia to Darwin, where its crew is facing a lengthy jail term.
To our surprise, we had in excess of 350 personnel on board who were all crying out and were quite agitated, claiming they wanted to come to Australia.
Most are from the Middle East. A special tent city is being set up to house them, as other detention facilities are full. Russian soldiers have opened a key border crossing from Chechnya into Ingushetia, allowing tens of thousands of refugees to flee the war. Russian rockets continue to pound rebel positions in the hills above Grozny. Moscow says it wants to secure a safe zone around the city before sending in ground troops. More than 200,000 people have now fled the fighting. In the United States, a man's being jailed for life for the brutal murder of a gay college